Hi there, my name is FixFox and welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Folks, I'm very excited because this is going to be the best stream you ever saw. And the reason why I'm so confident in that is because I am feeling great. I'm feeling like I got a great night's sleep. I got a nice caffeinated beverage over here. And it struck me as I was waiting for the countdown timer to tick down to 0 that even after making videos for a year or more, I still get this little knot in my stomach, this little bit of excitement. And I feel like that can't help but fuel me and get me moving towards something wonderful. And today is going to be a map that is something wonderful as well. This is going to come from the Celestial Heavens download spot. If you've never checked it out, there are tons and tons of maps out there from a great map making community for Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Of course, as a game that's been out for 20 plus years, you're going to find some people that have really taken some time to formulate wonderfully crafted maps. And the one today that we're going to play is requested from Pius on the FHeroes2 Discord, and that is going to be the map Athland. And so with that being said, let's dive right in. This is going to be a extra large 6-player map. This is essentially going to come to us from the Price of Loyalty expansion, the Secession Wars here. And so that means that there's going to be some nifty opportunities. There's going to be some of the Secession War Price of Loyalty expansion objects on the map. So barriers, maybe some of the things like the, what is it? The eye. Help me. Magellan's, for some reason I'm thinking Magellan's maps, but that's not the one I'm looking for. It's the eye, it's the hut of the Magi. There we go. Finally, we got it. Ooh, there's going to be some objects like that. Whatever the case is, it's going to be really nice to actually get a good extra large playthrough with all of those extra fancy goodies. This is going to be a map where it looks like we're going to be allied with at least 1 or 2 or more players. We're going to have to look and see what that's about. We do have the loss condition that we cannot lose a specific hero. This is denoted as being a hard map. And here is the scenario description. The king of Athland has oppressed his people long enough. You must lead a rebellion, capture him and his allies. So we got the scene set for us. We're going to put this on impossible difficulty, and it looks like we have no choice. We cannot play as green, red, yellow, orange, or purple. Folks, we must start off as the blue knights. We've been playing a lot of knight games recently, and as I've mentioned before, there's a lot of challenges, but this is not too bad of a fun one. So we are here for it. A couple of nice folks in the chat there. Hi, Janina. Nice to see you there. Manny M. Hi. Rise to Ruin also in the chat. We've also got Vammy. Chris is going to be back, and we're just going to have a real nice time. Let's dive in. Okay. Looks like this is going to be a big story map, and I like a good storytelling experience. Years ago, Athland was ruled by a wise king. The current monarch, King Hubert, never was a very good ruler, and recently his hand has become very heavy indeed. You and 10 of your academy buddies have been talking about the recent atrocities committed by Hubert. First came the heavy taxes, then the good Duke of Elba was arrested, but the final straw was when the news came that your brother Tristan was arrested as well. Alex Let's Play fan, hi there Mr. Fox, hi guys, nice to see you there. There's already a pretty big crowd here, I'm for it. You, being the eldest son of a minor noble, have the title of King Steward of this little hamlet of Glenwood, your family home. Your friends, trained and ready, are willing to follow you anywhere. What began as a gripe session at your local tavern has fanned your anger at the king's injustice. You and your friends have marched to the local wise man to see what he has to say about your rash plan, starting a rebellion against the king. What gives you hope is that you might succeed is that your uncle, Lord Thad of High Rock, holds one piece of an ancient powerful set of armor. This armor, known as the Armor of the Sun, is in 3 pieces. If you could find the other 2 pieces and raise an army, maybe your plan would have a chance of working. As it is, you have communication by pigeon with Uncle Thad, and he has the wherewithal to raise a substantial army himself. Flushed with anger and egged on by your friends, you march up to the wise man's hut. Inside, he tells you 2 things. First, he speaks of a massacre ordered by the king and carried out by his right-hand man, Lord Vlad. Bammy. Vlad killed scores of defenseless peasants as they tried to flee the kingdom. The wise man secondly directs you to go to the Oracle of the Lake. Only the Oracle would know where the missing pieces of the armor are. The years of hard taxation has left your family with little wealth. You have only yourself, your friends, and your skills to help you. A message comes from your Uncle Thad. It seems that 2 royal couriers are waiting to deliver more tax obligations to High Rock. Thad can ignore them for only so long. And so, folks, we start off here with, it looks like, our man, Aaron the Knight, level 3. He's going to have 5 Master Swordsmen in 2 different stacks, but starting off as level 3, he has way more to his name as far as secondary skills. Look at this. Expert Logistics, Expert Pathfinding. On an XL map, I couldn't imagine anything better than that. Plus, the basic wisdom. So for sure, we are going to be a knight who is going to be able to go into the magic line of championness. That's not really a word, but we're going to go with it. Advanced Scouting, Expert Leadership, and unfortunately 1 tax lien. Oh no. I think that knowing that we only have 2 villages right now and no castles, that's already going to be a big blow to our chances at getting economic advantage. We also do have another hero here. This looks like it's going to be Uncle Thad. He's got the portrait of Vesper, and he starts off with 10 and 10 as far as the Rangers go, and 2 tax liens. So we are officially 250 gold in the hole. Any amount of gold that we get is going to immediately go to taxes. That feels pretty bad. I don't think that we can just get rid of Uncle Thad. And so even if we were to dismiss him, we would not want to do that, because this Sword of Andrin looks like is going to be a possibility. If we get the Battle Garb of Andrin, because this map looks like it is specifically geared towards using that Town Portal spell, if that's what it comes down to, that's what we're going to do. But 9 attack, 7 defense, 5 spell power, 6 knowledge on this level 17 hero. Feeling pretty okay about that. We do start off with 2 hamlets as well. This here is going to be High Rock. As Vammy says that we are in debt. Yeah, we are absolutely in debt. Kingdom income per day, 0. Nothing. And it's not going to change anytime soon. And so for all of this, this might as well be a peasant hovel with nothing to our name. It's nice that these troops are going to accrue over time. So long as we don't hit month of the plague, then could be a very useful opportunity in the future. But for now, this looks like this is simply going to be our little hamlet, and these troops are going to wait and hope that we are able to get enough gold to purchase them at some point. Yeah, pretty sad. Our other little hamlet here, though, it looks like a tavern and some peasants. We've got a well here, so plenty of peasants. Doesn't feel too bad. Yes, it does. Nobody likes peasants. But the fact that we can't upgrade either of these towns into castles is not my favorite thing. There is another peasant hovel here. It looks like there is a mercenary camp. There is a green hero. We are allied with green. This is wonderful. Princess Anne is a level 33 hero. She's got Batania, the sorceress's portrait. She's got a couple thousand of these sprites with 8 attack, 4 defense. I'm going to be looking forward to seeing what she does. And north of our position, there's another sorceress, Queen Ida, level 33. Another couple thousand sprites. Is that stacks of 9,000? 9, 18, 27, 36, 45,000 sprites? That's an awful lot of sprites. That is a good ally to have. We're going to let Queen Ida of the Fae folk continue to do what she does best. There is this town as well, Draywood, and there are tons and tons of phoenixes there. Almost 10,000 phoenixes, but it looks like this is inaccessible from any normal means. Maybe if there's a dimension door, there's a way that we can get there. But for now, I think that this is just to say, hey, they're never going to take the Fae capital. This is just going to stay defended with these big, beautiful birds and more. Arcane Him says, "Ayo, hey Arcane Him." Yeah, Alex, Let's Play fan, 5,000 sprites. Yeah, I think that they can do a ton of damage if only there's not somebody with like 10,000 dragons just sitting around the corner. In the upper right hand, by the way, we have X. It looks like he's got, well, there you go. Well, there is the purple necromancer who is known only as X, with his throngs of vampire lords and 3 stacks of zounds of bone dragons. Folks, it's a good thing that we have some sorceress friends here, because I hope that they fight them first, and then we will pick up the pieces after that. Vammy says X, formerly Twitter. Okay, from here on out, this is now known as the hero known as Twitter. That's what we're going to go with. And look at this. This doesn't seem fair. There's a barrel mound sitting right here, right outside of X's grasp. That is very intriguing, because I anticipate that ghosts are going to be a big deal sooner rather than later. If we go down to the very south there in the bottom right corner, we have one more princess from the sorceresses, Princess Eve, level 33. She's got 9,000 phoenixes herself, nearly 10,000 phoenixes. These are some tough heroes. And Rise to Ruin, I wonder what spell scrolls they are going to get. Yeah, what are they going to be? I can't possibly tell, but seems deliberate. I definitely agree. This was, if you missed the intro, from the Celestial Heavens map making community. When this map was created, I don't know. Whether it's meant to be played with the FHeroes2 engine or not, I don't know. I'm guessing not, but let's see if that works in our favor or against us. And let's start off with our hero, Aaron, here. We might as well go to this Hut of the Magi. We enter a rickety hut and talk to the magician who lives there. He tells you of places near and far, which may aid you in your journeys. And it looks like there is an oracle. There is some peasants that are looking like they're about to be slaughtered. There is Captain Vlad. That was in the pre-game text, talking about how Vlad was going to absolutely slaughter lots and hordes of peasants. Well, enjoy your 500 experience, buddy. I'm sure that they're going to serve you well in that regard. But then also there was a lake. And the lake is actually not too far away from our starting hero here. Aaron is close to this aqua tent. There's this oracle here. I think that aqua tent is potentially going to be what guards our way into those two fancy artifacts that are hopefully going to combine with Uncle Thad's Sword of Anduin. So lots to be done. Let's get started. No more time wasting. I think that I've seen about what I need to see to kind of feel like we can get started. Oh, 1998. Athland was completed by Keith Dunbar. Keith Dunbar, if you're seeing this, my hat's off to you. I can already tell you that I like the storytelling that you have in this map that you have made. So, good stuff. We've got some peasant huts, we've got some archers' houses. I see no reason why I ought not to pick them up. The only reason why I might not want to pick them up is because of traveling. 2-speed creatures, they're going to slow me down. Meanwhile, I've got these 5-speed master swordsmen. Tell you what, I'm sure that we're going to come back at some point. Let's just avoid these archers' houses for now. Let's travel up the roads. Let's see what we can find. Let's make the most of our movement points. Wow, we have them. Bambi says, final boss with thousands of bone dragons and ghosts. Sounds like Price of Loyalty 8. And I don't think that we're going to get as lucky with Price of Loyalty 8 as we could here. So a little bit concerning. How are we going to deal with 3 stacks of Zounds of bone dragons? I don't know. That's maybe the worst thing that we could see. Here in this narrow cleft in the rock, Uncle Thad has kept the secret password into King's Spire, the Royal Palace. Interesting. So the Royal Palace is going to be here for this traveler's tent. You enter the tent and see an old woman gazing into a magic gem. She looks up and says, in my travels, I have learned much in the way of arcane magic. A great oracle taught me his skill. I have the answers you seek. And so it's going to be this orange tent that's going to guard the way into, is it this guy? Is it Twitter's final boss domain? It might be. So orange tent, that one has been accomplished, and there's still a teal tent to go here on this map. There's no purchases we can make. We have no gold anyway. And so let's watch our sorceress friends and these red and purple heroes go to town. That was odd. Did you see that? Let me read this first, and then I'll tell you what I mean. A household servant from Glenwood comes on the run. Master, he speaks between gasps, your grandmother wants you to stop off at home to pick up your things. Okay, so I'm guessing that there's going to be some artifacts here in Glenwood. That just makes sense that right outside of the home gate, there's maybe a nice artifact. I'm going to hope that that's the case. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But we'll come back. Don't worry, grandmother. We will come back. For now, I got sawmills to pick up. I got some freebies here. It looks like there's wood hidden in the tree line and all these different troops. Sir Chauncey, the red hero, is just sitting there ominously. He's standing. He's standing. I'm going to assume that he's not going to move an inch. It looks like he was placed there, and he's probably just a guard to prevent us from wandering through there until we are prepared. Gems, I think that we're going to come back for this trading post at a later date, and so we're just going to head up the way, maybe back. Maybe we're going to see what artifacts we can find and go from there. Meanwhile, Uncle Thad is going to continue on his way here. Vammy says, also, I imagine that there are some barriers so the AI can't rush you with its giant armies. But if there aren't, I guess it's better that you are in FHeroes2 where the AI doesn't have map hacks. Yeah, if they come at me like an intercontinental ballistic missile, I'm going to feel pretty bad about that. And I don't think that there's much I could do. There's these 2 couriers. Note that in the pre-game text, it mentioned that there was 2 couriers who were trying to get our resources from us. It looks to me like we can defeat them both, but they are both sorceresses. If they both have a spell, like scroll in their backpack that has lightning bolt, that could spell doom and disaster for us. Uncle Thad's not bad, but I don't feel comfortable about fighting this fight until I get at least a couple of these other troops. So we're gonna see what happens. Okay, so what I was worried about and wondering before, Twitter here has gone back home to Blackgate and Sulphur Spring, but they completely ignored Carlon the Green Sorceress. That's pretty interesting to me. I guess that they just recognize that they are not a big threat, and so the AI just moved them way down on their list of priorities. Okay, fine, but just kind of odd to see that all the same. And Carlon, it looks like, did not move a muscle. They must be tied to that one square. Interesting, very interesting. If we are to get through the brown barrier, we may have the opportunity to go left or right. If we're able to get this purple barrier, we may unleash Princess Eve on the world, which could be fantastic. I wonder if there's more to be done over there, or maybe up here. Queen Ida did not move, although she combined all of her sprites into one stack with 44,996. That's pretty nifty. And then Princess Anne also did the same, but they did not move a muscle. That's a little bit concerning. Unless the enemy attacks them, then there's not going to be a lot of value in being a green sorceress hero. We'll see. Vammy says, pretty sure you can win turn 1 because your archers go first, and I'm pretty sure they can kill even 4 swordsmen, especially since that has high attack. Yeah, if I combine, I think you're right. If I combine them all together with 9 attack skill, yeah, with 2 shots, courier, yeah, we're going to be evenly sped, but I think you're right. Unless they had such high defense, it's highly unlikely, right? Highly unlikely. Glorious victory. Okay. Fix Fox was overthinking it. Vammy, I appreciate that. Darn it. Hey, we were going to have to deal with the tax lien anyway. 1, 2, 3. Oh, what a mean trick. Folks, we are in debt up to our eyeballs. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tax liens. My word. I don't think it's going to change my decision making as far as whether I go through this courier or not, because this purple tent is going to free Eve from her little prison here. So we're going to let her do that and just hope for the very, very best. Dawn, heroics greetings, sire. Heroic greetings to you as well. Nice to see you there. We're playing Athland and we're having a ton of fun getting absolutely lambasted by these couriers who are giving us tons and tons of debt. You hear news of your brother, Tristan. Baron Chauncey has thrown him in a vile cell. Tristan always had a silver tongue, but his glib words seem to have gotten him in deep trouble. People have been known to die in Baron's cells. You'd best hurry. You are about to start out for the day of rounding up eager peasants and archers to your cause when what looks like a piece of rainbow flutters out of the sky and lands in front of you. A shimmering sprite looks you over, then bows. Steward Aaron, I bring greetings from Queen Ida of the Sprites. The gracious queen has been watching you with favor. She will grant an audience if you seek her out. She awaits you deep in the pinewood northwest of Glenwood. The sprite takes flight amid a shimmer of color. All those of the queen's green banner seek to aid you. The sprite messenger flies into the nearby woods, says, and quickly vanishes. Which is interesting because here for FHeroes2, I think that we share vision, whereas before, in the original Heroes of Might and Magic 2, we did not share vision. And so maybe it's supposed to be more of a quest to try and find Queen Ida. Whatever the case is, we know where she's at. If there's a little bit less intrigue there, so be it. It's not like we can go up to her and trade. So we're going to see what that story plot will lead us to. As you watch the sprite go and ponder, what a boon the queen, what a boon the aid of a queen might be, one of your advisors taps you on the shoulder. Take advantage of her offer, but remember, the king will hear of your rebellion as soon as you attack Baron Chauncey. The kingdom has grown complacent with years of peace, but it won't take too long for the king to mount a formidable army. Don't tarry too long. This, of course, being Sir Chauncey. I don't know if it's best to go north or south, but again, this is Queen Ida. That's Princess Anne, so Queen Ida is to the north. And so actually, maybe there's a little path here. It looks like there might be a dirt path. And if there's this artifact here, I say, why not? Let's head in that direction. Let's go north. There is going to be Brighton as a town not too far away. Lots of boars, lots of boars. Is there something nifty here in this wagon? Hey, occasionally you get lucky, and that feels just fine. Speaking of lucky, a lucky rabbit's foot. As we've mentioned before, though, it couldn't have been too lucky for the rabbit whose foot we now have possession of. Once again, let's go through this courier, and once again, I'm sure 1, 2, 3 tax liens. We are hiring a hero as soon as we can, and we are dumping these. This is going to be like putting all of your money into some offshore bank account And we are going to hide. I mean it. We are going to hide from anybody who wants to tax us unfavorably. I'm just taking a look at this view map here so that way I can see if there's any nifty things hidden in the cracks and crevices of these mountains. Nothing so far that I'm finding. Again, we'll come back to this trading post later, but it looks like nothing else hidden in the trees, at least nothing that I didn't already see. Oh, there's an artifact here though. Did we see that? Oh, it's a spell scroll sitting right outside that aqua tent. Okay, we'll come back for that later. But if we can get this purple barrier, as we do see this green hero finally go down, if we can get this purple barrier opened up, and if we can encourage Princess Eve to go that direction, I'm going to be feeling much better about our chances. At this point, it feels like Thad is somewhat useless. Until we're able to get a brown tent, we are going to be stuck. And so we shall stay stuck for the meantime. You walk along a path that you have never seen before. The woods begin to take on a golden look, and ahead you see the lovely Queen Ida, ruler of the sprites. She tells you that she and her daughters are watching over you and throughout the land. Wherever the woods grow golden, they will be there to give shelter and aid. That is such nifty storytelling. Good job with the tree line being golden instead of just this green tile set. I think that that's just a really beautiful way of telling a story. Good storytelling. We find an elaborate container which houses an old vellum scroll. These runes on the container are very old, and the artistry with which it was put together is stunning. As you pull the scroll out, you feel imbued with magical power. This is going to give us the ability to cast Mass Haste. For a knight, that feels pretty okay to me. I am all for it. We do need a spell book. Maybe we're going to pick up something in the future there. Of course, we cannot click on Queen Ida. I do wonder if we take just one step further. I wonder if we're going to find anything else that will help get favor. Mass Haste, great. Not sad about it at all. Could there be something more? Perhaps. We shall see. Otherwise, I'm not feeling a lot of pressure from our enemies just yet. It seems to me that they are staying within the realm that we've already seen them in. I just took a walk around there. I didn't find anything nifty. And if they are in this upper right corner, if that's where we have to go, we will go there eventually. But for now, we're just going to sit tight, hold our horses, and wait. And that's going to bring us to month 1, week 1, day 6. I think that now is not a bad time to start going through these peasants. We've more or less been able to get some additional movement points because we did not take those 2-speed creatures into our army. I think that we're about to the point where we're going to start bringing them up. Maybe on the way to Chauncey. We'll see. We'll wait. A seldom used fort in the woods seems to be under attack by a pack of maddened boars. Strange, boars would never have been this bold before. If you rescue the men in the fort, they might reward you both in skill and treasure. There are many such forts scattered throughout the marchlands to protect the populace against raiders from the wilds. The men in all these forts might be of some aid in your fight. Good to know. Good to know. I think that means that we're going to go through these boars sooner rather than later. And I've kind of talked myself out of picking up these creatures until we go south. I think that there might be something in here, but it won't be too hard to swing back through this way once we are able to figure out what we ought to do. We see a red hero for the first time. MarchLord. Alrighty. Lots of archers, a few of the cavalries, and tons of peasants. He can have them. I think that peasants are not the thing that scares me most. Okay, and let's come on in, and on day 1, we're going to leave. I'm hoping that there's, again, something nifty here in our town. New week. Astrologers proclaim this to be the week of the hedgehog. All dwellings and populations have increased. And folks, there we have it. Your grandmother greets you with a book. Going to save the kingdom, I hear, she says, while pinching your cheek. Take some ink and parchment so you take notes and tell your old granny all about your trip when you get back. She pats you on the arm. Now, be nice in your battles and be polite when you meet the king. This feels like The Princess Bride. My hope is that we here are aware of the book and the movie, The Princess Bride. This feels just like Billy Crystal saying, have fun storming the castle. You think they can do it? It would take a miracle. But by now, that feels like my grandmother here, wishing me the best, and maybe not too sure whether or not I can or can't do it. And that's okay. Grandma, I appreciate your enthusiasm for this trip I am on. The barkeep does give us this rumor, the end of the world is near. I wonder if I need to check this every single week. I probably should have checked this last week. Maybe there was something important here in the tavern on day 1 that I might have missed. We'll wait, we'll find out. A group of peasants, we go from 45 up to 102. Let's go grab these archers next. This is going to be 13 archers there. And it looks like Captain Vlad. Princess Eve, you can absolutely take him. We have visited the Purple Barrier. I'm pretty sure you can deal with Vlad if you feel so inclined. 9,000 phoenixes? You can do it. I don't know if she will. I'm sure, right? I believe that if I visit these tents here in FHeroes2, that means that our allies have also been granted that access. I believe, perhaps not. I'm not too familiar with that actually, so I don't know if that's the case. If they are unable to go through those tents or those barriers, then that's going to be a real bad time, because there goes a great statistical opportunity for me to maybe even up the score. So that's what we're going to go for, hopefully sooner rather than later. What was that? Oh, we hit a follower goal. Cool. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. And let me just check real quick to see who that was that just gave us a follow there. That was a Wet Tom Selleck. What a great name. Hey, a Wet Tom Selleck. Nice to see you there. Appreciate having you here. We're playing some Athland here in Heroes of Might and Magic 2 and having a real good time with it. So far so good. Although there are massive amounts of forces out there, including a hero over in this upper right corner that's got zounds of bone dragons. And that is not something that I am looking forward to dealing with, but we shall, I'm sure, at some point. There's another peasant hut here with a group of peasants. I see this, though. There's an opportunity for luck, and this looks ripe for an opportunity for a fairy to maybe help me curry some favor. Let's go in this direction. We don't find anything that is an event bubble, but still, we do get ourselves this 4-leaf clover. In the middle of a patch of dead and dry vegetation, to your surprise, you find a healthy green 4-leaf clover. That feels okay to me. Alex, Let's Play fan, tactical question. Are your peasants worthy of recruiting since they slow you down so much? At this point, yes. For this reason, I do definitely want the archers, and the archers are 2-speed and the peasants are 2-speed. So until I can get the archers upgraded into rangers and be 4-speed, then it feels good to me to try and use these peasants as a meat shield. Maybe I can use them to keep these master swordsmen alive longer than they otherwise would. So that's my thought process there, is I definitely do want the archers. Just 10 master swordsmen is not going to be enough. So let's take these creatures for now. Maybe they can win us 1 or 2 fights, and we'll be sad that we're slower, but I think we can still manage with what we have. Folks, something just happened. We just picked up 500 gold. Now, based off of my math skills, which, let's be real, my American education, sometimes I wonder about it. 500 gold minus 250, 500, 750, 1,000. Long story short, I think that we have to spend this gold now. Otherwise, we're not going to get to keep it. So let's purchase anything, not peasants. Let's purchase anything else. Looks like with rangers being 200 gold, we can get 1 master swordsman and then 1 ranger, and that's going to spend all of our gold before it disappears. Hopefully, Uncle Thad is going to appreciate these new forces, and he will thank us graciously for them later. So, Bammy says, I had to go for a few minutes. Did you get anything from Grandma? I did. Folks, we've got ourselves not only the spell scroll, but also this magic book, which is perfect because now we do have the mass haste. We can cast it exactly 1 time. I'm going to save that for a later fight because Chauncey does not look like he's too concerning. Well, it depends on how many a pack of rangers is. We'll see, but we're going to pick up these peasants and go straight at them tomorrow. Alex, Let's Play fan, thanks for the insight. Still learning on how to really play Heroes of Might and Magic. Fantastic. I appreciate that because I think that it's the kind of game that you can play if you are brand new to the genre. I think it's a game that you can play if you're a long time, strategy aficionado. Regardless, my hope is that everybody can enjoy Heroes of Might and Magic as it currently stands here in the year 2024. And thank goodness for the FHeroes2 team for making it so accessible. It's just a quality game with all the quality of life buffs. I'm a big fan of that team. Folks, I messed up. I should have known beforehand that I would probably want all my Master Swordsmen in like a stack of 9 here, sort of a deal. These peasants are still going to take forever to get down the battlefield. These 5 Master Swordsmen are going to go in this direction. We do want to jump onto these Rangers. If we go all the way up here, supposing that we don't get good morale, then we're going to be ready to strike next turn. These swordsmen are probably going to step up to right here, although they'd be best to step into that general direction. They can't stop us from hopping onto these Rangers on this next turn. Let's hope for good morale. No good morale, but these things do happen. And I do want to deal with these swordsmen more than anything else. The swordsmen could actually step down if they wanted to, but will they? That's my question. They decide not to. Peasants are taking a beating. Good, good. That's their job. And then let's do Master Swordsman on Swordsman sort of action. I'm happy for that good morale. I do wish it had come just one turn sooner. This is not going to be as good of a fight as I would have hoped. All the same, let's get ready to help deal with these Master Swordsmen in just 1 second. We're going to leave this one stack of archers for later. We'll deal with them later. Now is not the time. Now is not the time. And all of our firepower does need to focus on their biggest stack. We do kill 2 of those swordsmen there. Good morale. It's coming in handy. We're down to 2 Master Swordsmen on this instance. We're going to continue to just be a nuisance. Good luck, good morale. We are for it. Let's continue on our way. Wet Tom Selk says, hey man. Hey there. Been watching your YouTube vids. Heroes of Might and Magic 2 and 3 were my childhood. Love your calmness and positivity. Thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate that. That's a huge compliment. Yeah, one of the nicest things anyone ever said to me here on camera was, I forget who it was, but they said, man, is Fix Fox not the most positive streamer? And it really kind of took me aback for a second, because I'm not like trying to be wholesome, but I'm really glad that that comes across. And I think that really what it comes down to, as I'm sure you can attest to, Tom, is that Heroes of Might and Magic tends to bring out the best in us. There are times where, sure, there is a strategy that does not work out, or an enemy overwhelms us and we get really bad morale or bad luck, and a fight doesn't go the way we hope it would. But in general, Heroes of Might and Magic is a calm, relaxing experience. And so I think that it does bring out the best in me, and I'm all for it. So happy to have you here, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that the YouTube videos are good for you, because I've sure enjoyed making them. Folks, we pick up a Defender's Helm. The losses here were not ideal. They were really not ideal. Hey, look, Basic Estates. I don't know when Basic Estates actually comes into play here. And here's what I mean. Does Basic Estates occur before or after the tax lien takes effect? I'm guessing that it's a zero-sum game, where if I right-click on my Kingdom Income in the Kingdom Income tab or in a town, I'm guessing that when it says you have 0 income, it's all factored into itself. There's no order of operations in when the 100 gold comes into my coffers. And so I don't think I'm going to waste my time with Basic Estates here. Let's pick up the Advanced Wisdom. Let's take our 1 defense skill from this level up, and let's consider Brighton. Interesting that we have, let's see, we have a tavern, but we don't have a Thieves Guild. Interesting that we have this decision. Do we fight here in Brighton or not? And I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the best choice for us or not, but I'll feel much better about my opportunities if I can pick up some other freebies, and I know that we want to go through these boards at some point. I think that we still have the forces necessary to defeat these creatures, and we can maybe even pick up this Magic Well to get the spell points back. What to do? A Wet Tom Selleck. Oh yeah, and the dreaded just one more turn, and suddenly it's been 6 hours. You got it. This guy gets it. This guy gets it. What a good shared experience that we all have with Heroes of Might and Magic 2 and 3, that we've all been there. I love the Heroes of Might and Magic community when they put together some sort of memes. I think that those memes are always funny and interesting, because, hey, if you know, you know. So, the king taxes again hit you hard. Folks, we have no resources at all. Every 2 weeks do we need to get to this trading post, trade resources for gold, and then purchase troops with those resources? I'm guessing so. I'm guessing that every 2 weeks, on the final day of the month, we have to get back to the trading post, trade our wood, and then just spend the gold while you have it in your hand. That has to be what it is. That is a very fun, sort of nifty hook to this scenario. But it's also going to be frustrating, since we have only 2 heroes that can really make that happen, and only 1 that can actually go here to this trading post. So pretty nifty that we now have no resources. It feels like we're starting off yet again, and if I had known, we might have done things differently. Alas, different is not what we currently have. Let's see, Alex Let's Play fan, couldn't agree more with you, Wet Tom Selleck. Often I can't follow these live sessions due to time offsets, but I do watch the YouTube broadcast with my Sunday morning coffee, because FixFox does have a cooling and smile-inducing effect. You guys are the best. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you so kindly. Folks, if I had been smarter, I would have adjusted my troops, so that way I didn't have to lose all of these peasants. I don't think I can actually make this fight go any better now that I think about it. In fact, I know I can't. Losing peasants is ideal here. I'm not going to bore you with this fight. We're just going to hit Q. We're going to take our losses of 55 peasants. There's just no tactical advantage I can squeeze out in that map. Sometimes if I can play with terrain, or sometimes if I can, you know, step in front of a troop somewhere or something, I can do something more. But at that point, it was a little bit too late. Now, if I put the peasants up to the top, and then I do some single stacks like this, now I've given myself the opportunity to have some tactical advantage. It doesn't always mean it's going to pan out that way, but it's a better opportunity than I otherwise would have had. And so I kind of skipped through that previous fight because I figured, yeah, 55 peasants, that feels about right. Vammy says, you're not going to bore us with that fight. Occasionally, my dad will watch these videos, and I love my dad. And my dad will text me. He says, I see what you did there. And he'll point out the whatever I did. Most recently, it was in Heroes of Might and Magic 3 on the Sandro campaign, and I made a pun about death and following people to their death. And as a necromancer, death puns are always a top-notch thing. So, yep. Occasionally, I'll try to not accentuate the pun too often. I'll assume that you'll catch it or you won't. Either way, it's just fine for me. A nervous scout hurries to your side. Sire, the news of your activities have spread beyond Pinewood. The marchlands which lie between the Pinewood and Mount Anvil's Pass into the Heartland has mobilized. Both the North MarchLord and South MarchLord have been gathering troops to face us. I am scared. Okay. But I'm not so scared of them that I'm not going to go through these bores. Okay, let's see if we can actually tactically do this fight a little bit better. And I think that we can. This terrain looks good. Archers go here. Step up, step up. Yeah, I think that we can actually make this fight go much better. Maybe not much better. But I do believe we can make this fight go better. Let's actually step here. Get a little bit of damage off. Let's actually focus on this boar, because this boar is going to step up and try and hurt these Master Swordsmen, and I don't want that. We're going to take some damage here on this big stack of peasants. I guess if I'd known, I could have had this one stack of peasants there. That would have been better. As it stands, well, if you get good luck like that, then that just is to your detriment, my dear peasants. That just means you're going to take even bigger losses. Oh well. Oh well. You get good luck, you kill your enemy, that allows somebody else to step up. One way or the other, even there, that was still 34 peasants. Very sad. Okay, now this is interesting. Diplomacy. We do not have the issue of being able to lose our hero or not. And so diplomacy can always be useful once we get gold, so that way we can actually retreat and stuff. It's not going to be useful for trying to get enemies to join us because, hey, we got no gold to let you join us anyway. And still, diplomacy intrigues me. Still, diplomacy intrigues me. I'm going to take diplomacy. There's no readily apparent reason why diplomacy could be useful. But if it's between that and expert scouting, I mean, let's think about this. What other secondary skills do we have out there in the nether that we might want? Logistics, leadership, wisdom. Those three are in the S tier type of realm, depending on the map. And in this case, we have our S tier skills. That's fine. What else could we possibly want? I mean, we could go for luck. We could go for something like archery, but those are kind of falling into more of the B tier kind of area for me anyway. And so since there's not another secondary skill that I feel like I have to have and I want to keep 3 spots open for, I'm just going to take the diplomacy now. And maybe that's not a S tier skill, but it should work out fine just all the same. The soldiers living in the fort teach us a few new defensive tricks, +1 to our defense. That's fine. I feel like I have to walk around here because I think that there was some indication that they were going to give us some other bonus or some other benefit. And if it's right there and I just didn't walk over the right spot, I'm going to feel really dumb. So if you know a trick to this map, let me know because I'm often for it as well. An old knight appears on the steps of the gazebo. My liege, I will teach you all that I know to aid you in your travels. That's going to be another 1,000 experience. And from here on out, we're going to head back. Should we go back and resupply? There's going to be a couple of troops here. It's going to take too long. I think at this point we picked up our haste. That should hopefully be enough to deal with this town if we are able to beat it at all. And if we find out that we can't, well, you win some and you lose some. And that's just kind of the way it goes. Let's play fan. I've often heard that diplomacy is a useless skill in Heroes of Might and Magic. You seem to differ? Question mark. good question. That's a good question. Rise to Ruin has opted in on this question. He says, diplomacy is usually a lower tier skill, but depending on the map can be very useful. I would agree with that. I don't think that there's much else I feel like I can really say to that, because I think that that's correct. I think that's 100% correct. As we do see this new town, the thieves of the Northern Woods are said to be in the possession of gem mines located on the northeastern slopes of Mount Anvil. This is good information to have. Okay. So thieves in the Northern Woods have possession of gem mines located on the northeastern slopes of Mount Anvil. Good to know. Good to know. You can get some wild armies with diplomacy in Heroes Might and Magic 3. A Wet Tom Selleck says, I agree with that. Rise to Ruin says, also used to be a hidden perk before F-Heroes. It affects your surrender rate. Yeah, it was hidden, but now it's spelled out more completely here. The cost of surrendering is reduced to 40% of the total cost of troops in the army. So yeah, it was hidden, and now it's out there for the whole world to see. So I'm for that. Bambi says, I think that the problem with diplomacy is that it can tip the scales in a game at pretty much random chance. And that does feel that way. There's a certain amount of randomness that comes into diplomacy, but there's still some things that are always going to be a for sure. For example, if you go to the Xanadu, it will make it a little bit easier to get in there. Maybe Aaron the Knight is going to get +1 to each of his primary skills sooner rather than later. Who knows? But on the off chance that this is useful, we're going to take it. We will see. Oh, but in Heroes Might and Magic 2 specifically, I think that, Alex, you're completely right. I think that you've heard right, and I would agree with that. I would agree with that it's less powerful in Heroes Might and Magic 2 than it would be in 3. Yeah, definitely less useful. And it's really dependent on how much gold you have. This is kind of the right map for it, in the sense that we don't have a lot of forces at this major town here or over here, but it's not the right map in the sense that we don't have a lot of gold. But we'll see if it comes in handy or not. Time will tell. Yeah, limited effect in the second one, Wet Tom Selleck says. I'm for it. Yep, I agree with that. Your brother Tristan's prison is just ahead. His persuasive speech might help you gain converts to your cause. Maybe he has diplomacy. He also has a title to some family lands out east. The gold generated will be helpful. Yeah, you better believe it. Any amount of gold is going to be very, very helpful. Oh no, as you approach the cell, you see your brother, but he has an awful mask locked over his face, and the air has the feeling of doom, as if he were cursed. Now, more than ever, you need to seek out the Oracle of the Isle to see if there is any way to restore your brother. Until you do, his diplomacy skills will be of little use to you. That's very sad. He's the man in the Iron Mask from, of course, the book Alexander Dumas's The Man in the Iron Mask, of the same name. But all the same, we shall free him, whether he is ugly or handsome. In a dazzling display of daring, you break into the local jail and free the hero imprisoned there, who, in return, pledges loyalty to your cause. So, Tristan the Knight, Lord Kilburn, oh no. He does have the expert estates, which is kind of nifty. So, I mean, right now, keeping him is not going to be useful, but at some point we can get rid of all these negative artifacts. All of these negative artifacts. Eventually we can get rid of them, but for now, we're just going to have to suffer. We're happy to see the expert diplomacy. I'm not so thrilled to see this peasant. I'm not too sure that we're not going to eventually just dismiss Tristan the Knight. It's nice to have somebody extra who can go back and pick up these freebies, but he's not really a quality hero. Again, maybe the diplomacy will be useful later, but for now, I think not. Purple Barrier. This tent has been explored. Ferry landing, Lady Astra is standing guard. I'm sure that this boat here is going to be the way that we get to this aqua tent, and we'll go from point A to point B. Remember, we are still looking for this brown tent for our Uncle Thad in the bottom right corner. We shall see. Bambi says, persuasive speech. Does jail hero have Diplo? Right after you picked up Diplo. Yeah, I mean, had I known, right? Had I known, but less so in Heroes 2 than Heroes 3, since we're kind of on that topic. Does it matter whether or not you get ideal secondary skills? In Heroes Might and Magic 3, it feels like you kind of got to get, maybe lucky's not the right word, but you need to get the right secondary skills. You can ruin a hero and you can ruin your chances to winning a scenario if you don't get the right secondary skills in Heroes Might and Magic 3. In Heroes 2, it feels less needful. It doesn't feel like it matters as much because there's only 14 secondary skills and you have room for 8 of them. So you're going to get a couple of bad ones like mysticism here and there. You're going to get some that just aren't the best, but so long as you can get the S tier ones and the ones that really you need, You're going to get some bad ones anyway. Just kind of deal with it and take it on the chin and keep walking. Rise to Ruin says, I wonder if it could work against you depending on the game. Does separate rolls on creatures outright joining you or allowing you to buy them? Good point. The point I think you're making there is, would they have joined me for free if I would have let them? And if diplomacy requires that I actually go up and purchase them, does it actually work against me? I think that that's what you're saying there. If it's just one roll as to if they'll join you, could having diplomacy prevent those creatures from joining for free? I don't know the answer to that. I believe that it goes into the same stat line. Okay. If diplomacy and creatures joining you works the same as it does in Heroes 3. I know that in Heroes 3 that there are 3 factors that goes into whether or not a creature is going to join you or not. Number 1, do you have creatures that are of the like kind in your army, right? So if they see a knight-based troop in your army, they are more likely to want to join you. Do you have any amount of diplomacy, right? That's also going to determine whether or not they're going to want to join you. That's going to have a base level modifier, and that will go into the decision making of whether or not they join you. And then the third factor is, how strong is your hero? Attack skill, defense skill is factored into it, but then also your base army strength. Assuming that that is the hidden mechanic that determines whether or not somebody joins you for free or for not, then diplomacy will actually give you an opportunity to have them join you for free more often than not. Assuming it works in Heroes 2 the same way it does in Heroes 3. Does it? I don't know. But there's so many things that stayed the same from 1 to 2 to 3 because they were all crunched into such a small amount of time that I think it's reasonable to believe. I don't know if that's the case or not. We will have to wait and find out. Maybe somebody can do some digging on the internet and just let us know if they can find anything nifty on that. Manny says, with diplomacy, you have to fight every guards you cannot afford. You don't want to take with you. And free joining troops are rarer, aren't they? I'm no fan of it on most maps. Manny M says, yeah, I think that's right, Rise to Ruin. And then Vammy. And so I don't know. Manny, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. That's just the way it works in Heroes 3. Does it work that way in Heroes 2? I don't know. But you're completely right that if you can't pay for them, then they just want to fight you. So, and then Bammy does say the Alchemist Tower destroys your cursed artifacts. Tax lien is a cursed artifact. Does the Alchemist Tower in the tower commit tax fraud? Yes. There is absolute crazy amounts of tax fraud if you're an alchemist. Do you think somebody that knows how to turn random minerals into gold, do you think that they want to have to be taxed on every bit of that? Absolutely not. Nope, they are boiling down their urine into sulfur, and then they're turning the sulfur into gold, and they don't want the king to have a single bit of that. That's just based off of what information I do know about alchemists. Okay, back to the game. You have made it out of the Pinewood. The local baron, though, will prove to be your easiest opponent. Before you lies the rolling meadows of the Marchlands. Defeat the 2 MarchLords, and the rest of the Marchlands will quickly fall under your sway. Oh, yeah. I don't know how you pronounce that. Uh-oh. Oh, it's just uh-oh. Uh-oh. Your advanced scouts say that Lady Astra from the King's Court is guarding the way to the Oracle's Island. I have not gone through this barrier because I don't know. Folks, I don't know if this is the right timing for this purple barrier. This might be the strongest forces we have for this entire game. I'm sure that these enemies are getting stronger and stronger over time. I'm sure that we are best off going through rather than waiting. But if I do go through here and some other enemy wants to come my way, we're going to get stomped. And maybe this is a bad decision. Maybe it's not. We will have to wait and find out. Rise to Ruin says, that's why I love this game 20 years later, and there's still new stuff to learn that can absolutely affect strategy. Yeah. And that's also part of the reason why I don't necessarily want to... I'm trying to be very careful when I do my advanced tips and tactics videos, because I do want people to get better at Heroes Might Magic 2. I want you to be just as good or better than me, but also I do worry that I could ruin some of the magic. Oh, I don't want to ruin any of the magic. I truly don't. I'm guessing, folks, that Lady Astra is on a tether. In the Heroes Might Magic 2 map editor, you can make it so an enemy hero will patrol a certain radius. I'm guessing that the radius here is 2, so that she's not going to come down the road and come grab us, but if we hop in the boat, she will try and attack us. If I had to guess, I would say that that's the case. Several of the champions, that feels like a lot. feels like a lot. So what to do, I don't know. I don't think it'll hurt me to go down the road a little bit more, maybe do some scouting, maybe we can find something else that's nifty. Druids guard this road, a purple barrier that we do have access through. I'm gonna wait on that, and let's just go through this kind of swampy area, and let's see what else we can find. Blacksmith. Well, there's peasants' huts here. I don't know if there's an enemy red player just meandering about. If they are, then we're not gonna get a lot of peasants out of this hut. But if there's not, we can pick up all these peasants, we can maybe use that to go fight these other defenders. For now, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Wait and see. Hope and change, folks. Hope and change. 6 peasants at a time. A couple times, not too bad. And then Manny says, nearly 30 years, playing it since the release in 1996. Where has the time gone? Yeah, we are closer to 19 or the year 2040 than we are the year 2020, aren't we? Or 2020 scratch. Your forces suffer bitter defeat. Aaron abandons the cause. That's not good. There was somebody wandering around. Okay. The North Marchland. The North Marchlord the Knight. 4 attack, 5 defense, 2 spell power, 1 knowledge. Great morale. Good luck. Crazy Furry Boy. Hi FixFox. Hi chat. Hey there, Crazy Furry Boy. We have found ourselves in a little bit of a pickle here. 58 archers. It's done. It's dusted. We can't do this. We would need to be able to defeat the archers first. We would need to be able to wrap around our archers and then deal with these peasants from afar. But even if you do that, then there's still 16 swordsmen that are just jumping down your throat. And of course, the enemies here go into a defensive position because 58 archers are going to go after our 18. But when they trade blows, we're going to kill 4 and they kill 14. Yeah, not a good time. Not a good time at all. We do have the mass haste, but it's so inconsequential here that I just know this is a loss. There's nothing I can do. There's no tactical advantage I can squeak out. We can't dive on these archers. We have simply made a mistake, and I'm just going to hit this into auto combat because there's nothing I can do to make this happen. This fight's just... I wondered if going through the purple barrier was the right decision. I think it is, but I think you have to go sooner. I think that it's clear that the enemies have been able to resupply with archers and swordsmen more so than we've been able to supply. And so the issue is not that we went through the barrier. We have to go through the barrier. The issue is that we went through the barrier too late. And with Aaron abandoning our cause, we've lost the hero Aaron. The quest is over. Okay, so we actually can not lose Aaron. Interesting. Okay, so we can't actually lose Aaron. I thought that we could lose Aaron, and so the whole reason why I took diplomacy in the first place is completely null and void because, yeah, you can't surrender, and so what's the point of having diplomacy if you have no gold and you can't surrender? That's just kind of the way it goes. Okay. We're diving right back in, folks. Oh no, FixFox lost. Dude, I lose all the time. That's not the question of whether or not I lose. The question is am I able to then rethink my strategy and do better the second time? And I think that we can. I think that there's a lot of opportunities that I potentially missed. And I can be much, much faster now that I have a little bit of intel on the early goings of this map. Okay. Rice to Ruin does say, dang, I remember playing Hot Seat with my brothers and sisters back in 2000. Caused a lot of family distress. More than Monopoly, I think. Haha. Good times. Yep. I think that anybody that's played Hot Seat with family members, they get it. They understand. They know the feeling of, hey, I love you, but I don't like you right now. I think that's pretty normal, so no concerns there. And then, fun fact from Alex Let's Play fan, when I was 12 and Heroes of Might and Magic 1 came out, and I thought it was an RPG because of its package cover, so I got crushed trying to play the first campaign. Interesting, discovering the series for the first time really at age 43 in 2024, mainly thanks to FixFox. You know what? There are RPG elements that you could make if you're trying to play this game as an RPG, but yeah, I can imagine that you said to yourself, here's my one hero, there's never going to be any other hero, and then you immediately got squashed. I imagine that that's not what happened. You didn't say that, but I imagine that that's what happened. And then Manny is supportive, saying it's never too late, especially for such a great series. Never too late. And I think that we all agree it's never too late. Let's fight this fight. Let's pick up these tax liens because sure, why not? And as you can tell, now that a lot of the early game decision making is kind of already solved for me, I don't feel like I need to overwhelm us trying to make this harder than it has to be. Endless Court of Wood, better or worse than the Lucky Rabbit's Foot? I think that's better. I think that's better, since we're going to be able to use that to trade for other resources and, more importantly, just flat gold. So feels good to me. Vammy says 58 archers is an odd number as we pick up more tax lanes. I feel like FHeroes2 might have screwed this one up at least a bit. It's possible. It's very, very possible. Unfortunately, there are some maps that are not possible like they once were, and I don't blame FHeroes2 for it. It's a better game because of all of the value that you get from the quality of life buffs, and if that breaks a very small percentage of the games, so be it. I don't want the games to be broken, but I recognize that that's kind of the price you pay for having a better AI with more replayability in general. And so some of these very specific maps that might have been created with the old AI in mind, if they don't work anymore, so be it. But I don't think that that's necessarily this one. I think that there's still much that I can do to improve upon our previous playthrough. And the biggest one is probably just to go here quicker. I did want to pick up the mass haste. I'm probably not going to go for the Boris here since I know it's just +1 defense and +1000 experience. We're going to pick up more stuff like that later. We'll get there. But yeah, maybe FHeroes2 screwed this one up. Maybe. I don't know. Wet Tom Selleck, FixFox, what are your thoughts on the newer Heroes Might and Magic games? So define newer for me. I do want to know what you mean by newer, because I am looking very, very much forward to the outcome of Olden Era. I am very, very much looking forward to that. I think that that's going to be a great opportunity to relish in some good old-fashioned Heroes Might and Magic gameplay. More than that, though, I don't know. What are we going to find with it? I just can't say. But I'm hoping that it's going to be wonderful. Yeah, what do you mean by older? I liked everything up to Heroes Might and Magic 4. I didn't have a computer that could play Heroes Might and Magic 5, and so I just never played it. But I do have it. I own it. But haven't really played it. So I don't have an opinion on something I haven't played yet. That feels disingenuous for me to do. So let me know what you mean by that. Jasne, I know I'm not saying you're right. Yiz, hello, what's up? Hey there, how you doing? Finally caught you on stream. It's a pleasure to have you on stream. I know you from the FHeroes2 Discord. I know you from a couple of other nice, wonderful folks here on Twitch's chats. I think specifically I know you from Winnie Maru as well. So yeah, it's a pleasure catching you here. So, yep. Thrilled to have you here. Thank you so much for your time. Okay, we're picking up our peasants, we're picking up our archers, we're moving forward. White Tom Selk is saying, I'm thinking 6 and 7. Gotcha. Yeah, 6 and 7. Unfortunately, I don't have an opinion for you because I've just never played it myself. And so yeah, can't tell you what I think. I will, as part of my plan to get back on track with a lot of great games, folks, my plan is to get through a lot of the modifications for different games as soon as possible. That's gonna have to unfortunately wait until, let's call it, oh, how long is that gonna wait? It's gonna have to be until February is kind of what I've had to decide. I don't love it. It feels like it's a little too late for me. I would love to play sooner, but as many of you know, I do have a baby coming in about 5 days. Baby number 2 for the Fix Fox family is coming in about 2 days. And at that time, my dear sweet wife, she needs all of the love and attention that she can get. I have responsibilities and duties as a father. I'm going to be very, very proud of my bouncing baby. And because of that, and because of some other professional issues I'm having to deal with, I'm not going to be available really to play any of those modifications or Heroes 6 or 7 until sometime in February. But be on the lookout. Sometime in February, I will see you there, and I will give you my opinion once I've played those fantastic games. That's my plan. Bunny Boy 712, hello. Nice to see you there. How you doing? Folks, that's nifty. The swordsman this time came out instead of trying to just simply defend the rangers. I think I don't hate that decision. They got a really good hit off on the peasants, but yeah, they did a little bit of damage there, more than I would have liked. The peasants are going to take one more hit. I just can't stop it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And then Rise to Ruin, whoop whoop, Fix Jr. Part 2. Yeah, we're pretty excited. And so I will appreciate everybody here's patience as I, again, attend to those duties as a father. And again, that means that we're going to be slowing down on videos. We're going to not be able to stream until maybe sometime in January. It's going to be the last stream of the year here in 2024. But I will look forward to seeing you all in 2025. maybe in January, most likely in February, and there's going to be a lot more videos coming out after that. So that's my plan. That's my hope. That's my goal. And I appreciate your patience as we find some new fun things to do, like be awake at 3 in the morning with a crying baby. I am looking forward to having 0 sleep. It's going to be great. Okay, folks, Aaron has gained a skill, +1 defense. We're going to pick up this basic archery. This is much better than the diplomacy because we can't lose Aaron the Knight. Whoops, my bad. And we're not going to wait. We're just going to go attack Brighton immediately. We're going to take that. There's no reason to step on in here, I don't think. Yeah, there's not. He told her yada yada, and then she said blah, blah, blah. So be it. Let her do so. And my hope is that it's day 3. It's going to be day 4 by the time we get to the jail here. I'm hoping that before day 6 of the new week, we can have Lord Kilburn, or rather our brother Tristan, get back and trade for all these resources that are not going to be ours in just 1 second. So we are more or less caught up to where we were before. And again, why were we so much faster? It's not because Fixfox was dawdling before. It's really because a lot of the heavy decision-making process is not required at this point. We did make one major change here. We did not go for this fort or that. We'll pick up all this later, but for now, I'm okay with where we're at. And we're doing much better. 37 of the archers. We have, what, 4 more of the master swordsmen? Yeah, I'm feeling much better about this start. Okay. On to a new day. Month 1, week 2, day 5. Bammy says, see, that's the issue. It feels like it's not just a small percentage of maps that are negatively impacted by FHeroes2 AI. Going into the conversation about whether or not the FHeroes2 AI is in a good spot, and talking about whether it breaks maps or not, and is this a map that's broken and we just don't know it yet? I don't know, maybe. There are many maps that hinge on the player's intellect defeating a larger AI army. Consider the campaign maps, especially the expansions, and even some standard maps. I feel like some maps become RNG dependent to a very high degree. Not to say I dislike the FHeroes2 team and their work, but I really feel like the new AI is incompatible with the original scenarios. Incompatible. Incompatible is a really interesting word. Number 1, I don't think that you're wrong. An elderly woman hurries out of the shack ahead and hands you a small bag. Tiny gems are the only things that I can keep hidden from the king's tax collector, she murmurs. Thanks. Well, we're going to trade those for gold in just a second. It's an interesting conundrum. I think that if you're looking for an extra special challenge, I think that I've proven that you can still defeat the Price of Loyalty expansion scenarios on impossible difficulty with the FHeroes2 AI. Granted, a lot of those were completed 2-3 patches ago, and the AI just keeps getting better. It just keeps getting better. And maps were made with a certain AI in mind. When I say broken, the one that really comes to mind is the map in the series by Timothy Duncan after Thunk, right? Because there's a New Hope, which is number 1 in the series, and then number 2 is Thunk. And then number 3 is the one where he's in jail, and then you're supposed to break out, but you're not able to break out because the AI doesn't do what it's supposed to do. In the Heroes Might Magic 2 Gold, the AI does a certain thing, and when it doesn't do that, you're just sunk, right? And so that is definitely a time where it's broken. I don't know what to tell you. You're bringing up some very good points, and other people can make their decisions about how they feel about it. I don't think I have an opinion strong enough that I feel like is worth your time there. I think that, again, you're right on a lot of points. I can't say, but you're making me think. You're making me think an awful lot, Bammy, so I appreciate that. Folks, this is a glorious victory, and this is against one of the guys that we did not defeat last time. This is much better. We were able to catch them 1 full week earlier, and that's going to make things go much better. Let's make this fight happen. Okay. So yeah, there's more here from Bammy on this subject. You see, you went from having a PC that was too old to run Might and Magic Heroes 5 to a PC that's probably too new to play Heroes 5 because it runs pretty poorly on newer systems, though it might work on good old games. I'm looking forward to seeing that. We'll see about that. I'm not too sure what to expect, but yeah, here's hoping. Here's hoping that I can enjoy it as it was originally intended. A couple of people have mentioned, oh, that's not good. A couple of people have mentioned, they've said, well, I'm really looking forward to you playing Heroes of Might and Magic 5. I think Chris specifically has said, he's like, dude, you got to play this on 5.5, the modification for Heroes 5. And that may be the way to play it. That might be the definitive way of playing the game in the year, whatever we are, 2024. But there's something to be said about enjoying a game in the manner that was originally supposed to be enjoyed. And I don't know, maybe this is me getting all teary-eyed and nostalgic when I ought not to, but if a game was meant to be played on a closed circuit TV and now I can't really appreciate it for how it really is, that does make me a little bit sad. Just a little bit, just a tiny bit. We're gonna save this one Master Swordsman. He doesn't need to die, so we're just not gonna let him fight. 1, 2, 1, 2. I think I can back off. My archers are gonna take down their 8. And then we'll deal with these slow-moving peasants as soon as we can. No, I didn't want to attack with you. So long, friend. Fix Fox got a little too antsy. And he hurt himself in his confusion. Whoops, my bad. Rise to Ruin says to Vammy, I can see where you're coming from. A majority of these maps were made before FHeroes2 came out and built with the previous AI in mind. Yep, that summarizes what my feelings are on it. So Rise to Ruin, coming in clutch, saying what I'm thinking, even if that's not what I said, so thank you. Arcane Him says, you can still play a map on lower difficulty. That is true. That is true. And then Rise to Ruin, Thunk was really fun when you were playing it. Frustratingly fun. My favorite. Yeah, I appreciate that, Rise. Yeah. Frustrating and fun. Some of the fun is the frustration on some of these maps. And really, one of my favorite things is whenever we stick with a map that looks like all hope is lost and we still find a way to overcome it. Those make me feel the best. The enemy has surrendered and their cowardice cost them 10 gold. I wasn't even planning on this guy running. I should have thought about that. Come on, Fix Fox. Because who knows if this guy has artifacts I just missed out on. Whatever the case is, I'm much sad. I'm big sad. I'm much more sad than I otherwise would have been. We're going to take the luck. Okay. So Aaron the Knight is now level 5, 3 attacks, 6 defense, 1 spell power, 1 knowledge. We are slowly getting back up to the point where we can cast our special move with our mass haste. That's going to happen in 7 more turns, but we did take for the first time Pike's Rest. We can recruit pikemen now. Oh boy, it's day 6. That's important for a reason I'm going to share with you in just 1 second. Manny M, maybe you could maybe there could be a switch to choose which AI you want to use for your adventure. If you have FHeroes2 working, then you have to have Heroes Might and Magic 2, the base level, working already, because you have to have those games files. And so if you want that, I think you can just go back to Heroes Might and Magic 2. You're right, though, in the sense that you're going to lose out on all the quality of life buffs. And so the gaming experience is not going to be as good. That feels pretty bad. Having the ability to choose would be nice. The amount of work that's already gone into Heroes of Might and Magic 2 is crazy with the FHeroes2 project. I am grateful for what they've already done. I think that is just not in line with their vision for what the Heroes of Might and Magic 2 project could be or should be. And I respect them for all the work they've already done. So I'm not gonna you make that you make that recommendation to them. And I'm not gonna say that to them, because I don't want them to pull their hair out and say, what else you guys want? We've already given you so much. You want a button now to go back to the old one? It's a good suggestion. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that just with the limited resources they already have. So, okay, here was the thought I had. I would love to get these pikemen. I know that the taxes are going to come today, so I had to trade the gold now. I couldn't wait until day 1 of the next week. And so what we just did is we purchased 4 of these Crusaders. My hope is that is eventually going to be useful, because over here, all we can really get is peasants. And peasants are not my favorite thing. There's just no point for them. But in the future, we're going to spend all of our gold here on pikemen, and that feels okay. There's not a mage guild here. Staying overnight is not going to be very, very useful. Last time we went south and we were defeated by a big bad evil guy. I'm gonna go up the road this way or that way. Is that just the base level of a observation tower? I'm hoping it is. And so we're gonna go up in this direction. We're gonna hope for the best. Vammy says, I think you should start with the original Might and Magic Heroes 5. The 5.5 mod is not exactly FHeroes2. It slightly modifies gameplay aspects from what I've heard. Perfect. And so yeah, I want to experience the game in the way that it was meant to be experienced. Rise to Ruin, the government has found that you have a working income. We'll take that 10 gold now. Hurt and shocked. Hurt and shocked. Dear government, why do you do this to me? I'm not an anarchist. I'm truly not. But I do understand the people that say, hey, wait a second. I don't have kids. Why am I paying a school tax? Anyway. And then for somebody to come in and say, well, it's good for society if we do this. Well, yeah, but I don't benefit from it at all. So I think that people have a legitimate gripe if they don't think that their taxes are actually benefiting them. Then again, their taxes are probably benefiting somebody, and somebody else is paying taxes that aren't benefiting you. So it's a little give and get, all the same. This tyrannical leader here in Enroth, they ought not to have my tax money. Rise to Ruin says the peasants you let surrender reported you to the IRS. No! That makes sense. That's my new headcanon. That's exactly what happened. Fixfox wife thinks that you're funny as well, so I'm for it. Vammy says, well, the FHeroes2 team does not have the rights to the original AI, so best case scenario, they would have to try and mimic it, though they might still have trouble with that. What a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah, they have to build it from the ground up, and so their new AI is in part because, hey, they have to have the new AI. They can't use the old AI. What an interesting thing. I thought about that. Yeah. Vammy says trolled by the windmill because it only gave me 2 sulfur. Do I need sulfur? I can trade. I'll trade it for later. Manny says, oh, thanks for the explaining. Gotcha. And then Rise to Ruin saying, hey, Fix Wife, hope you're doing better. Good luck with the baby. Big congrats and happy holidays to you and the growing fam. Yep. Just in case I don't say this to anybody, but I mean to say it now. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. So on and so forth. Folks, I don't know if Jousting Fields... So far, we haven't found an enemy we couldn't defeat. And it's day 1. Let's attack them here. Yeah, let's attack, and let's hope that we can defeat these foes. A glorious victory. Wow. But it was actually a little bit more of an army than I otherwise would have suspected. Okay, so this is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these cavalries. We're going to be able to take down this big stack of 2 with these archers in just 1 second. And then everybody else is ready to be destroyed. If only we can reach them. So 2 go down there. Yep, and these peasants are just going to try and stay... trying to get in the way. I don't think I want to just lose 20 peasants for free. They're not going to kill 1 full cavalry anyway. Ouch. Ouch. And ouch. Okay, perfect. Fix Wife says, thank you so much. Happy holidays to you and yours. Perfect. I meant that the windmill looked like an observation tower, but it really wasn't. Oh, gotcha. It wasn't about the 2 sulfur. It was about the fact that I thought it was an observation tower and I got fooled. I do feel fooled and I feel very sad for it. Folks, we got cavalries. We got cavalries. Huh. I think we're going to have enough resources to trade for those cavalries, and we're going to have to every 2 weeks spend all of our gold anyway. Pikemen, cavalries. Yeah, let's make this happen, but let's head over to this arena. Tell you what, I kind of wish I had an observation tower more so than a windmill. I just don't know what to do at this point. This boat and then going straight over to the Oracle feels like a good decision, but until I know what Lady Astra has, I don't want to make that choice until I've at least secured this area. I'm guessing that we're going to see an enemy hero come from the south along the road, and when they come, we're going to have to make some decisions in just a second. These parents are slower than Aaron's grandma. Yeah, but so too are the archers, and so they're just going to stay together as a little happy family. Hanging out together. Let's see... The Nervous Scout, we're this much faster. We are a full week faster than we were otherwise, and it's really to our benefit. We've already seen this about the North and South March Lord. And remember, we did already defeat the North Lord, so feeling great about that. We enter into an arena and face a pack of vicious lions. Folks, if you were to face a pack of vicious lions, do you think that you could handily defeat them? Like, I know that we are a knight of some renown, but do you think that you could actually handily defeat a pack of lions? I think that we are not giving Ambrose, or in this case Aaron, his dues. You gotta be pretty cool in order to defeat any amount of lions handily. To the wild cheers of the crowd, we've defeated them. Impressed by our skill, the aged trainer of gladiators agrees to train you in a skill of your choice. I think that the spell power is actually incredibly useful here. We're not going to have a high likelihood of picking up spell power for some time, and this is going to make our mass haste last for 2 turns instead of 1, and that should help. Vammy says, is it 10 or 19 lions? Because it's a pack. Okay, Vammy, I'll tell you right now, congratulations. Your comment has just made it into a YouTube short. That's going to go up on YouTube. Good job. As one of the chat members, yeah, I'm going to feature you for that comment in a YouTube short. Thank you for the ammunition for a wonderful YouTube short. I appreciate it very, very much. That's awesome. What a good quick-witted comment. Thank you. Oh, goodness. One of the best compliments that you can give any comedian is that you bruise a rib while trying to suppress laughter. I didn't quite bruise a rib because I wasn't trying to suppress my laughter that much, but have it be known that that one did get me. Well done. Rice Druin says, psh, lions, give me one long, sharp, pointy stick to vault out of the arena. Wish granted. Until they throw you right back in. Oh, goodness. Large, pointy stick in the ground and vaulting out of here. Okay, folks, here's the strategy. 1,850 gold. We have to spend it all. And so maybe I actually should save that 50 gold because I don't know what's going to be used for the 50. This is going to be 900 gold, 950 left. And we're going to want these pikemen right here. It's going to be 4 right there. And now that we've got these ones, we are ready to let the 150 gold go into peasants somewhere. Let's have it be here in Glenwood. That's going to be 10 gold remaining, and you better believe that the vultures are coming for that 10 gold in just 1 second. Couriers, sir. Good evening, Fix Fox. At least here. Oh, yeah, no. Good evening to you, too. It is in the afternoon for me. It's about, it's not quite 12:30 here, but happy to have you there. Thank you so much for the subscription. It's a pleasure having you here. Looking forward to seeing you for the 2 months down the road. Thank you so much. Fixfox wife, real question though, are you afraid of wild gorillas? We talked about that on stream a while ago, that the people, my native people from my state, are not afraid of wild gorillas. Yeah. Lions, gorillas, who knows? Who can say? Folks, we have been able to defeat every single one of these towns handily so far. I see no reason why that ought to change now. Let's make this happen. A glorious victory. This is a much more significant fight though. My word, that's an extra 3 champions than we had previously to deal with. Not champions, crusaders. No, not crusaders. Cavalries, but here they are all the same. Let's try and defend these archers. They're killing tons. They're doing fine. They're doing their job. And then this time I'm going to let the peasants die. Yeah, these cavalries are only killing 5 peasants at a time. That's not too bad. I'm okay with that. Here and done. Yeah, losses look acceptable. But every single archer I lose is some amount of firepower I just won't have moving forward, and that doesn't feel too good. We can recruit cavalries from this area as well. So we have some here, we have some here. I think it wouldn't make no sense to go back and grab them. It's not lost upon me that this is the aqua barrier. This aqua barrier is potentially going to take us to somewhere that has some nice artifacts. And remember that that aqua tent is here in the middle of the lake. We have to defeat Lady Astra before we do anything else there though. So we'll do that in short order. Meanwhile, Tristan is to the point where he should be able to pick up enough peasants and archers. I don't think he's going to have enough to defeat these boars, but I'm not going to come back for that +1 defense anyway. It's just a little too much time, a little too much out of my way. The soldiers living in the fort teach us a few new defensive tricks. That's +1 defense. And legions of rogues to the north. There was a text bubble that indicated that there were going to be rogues that were going to guard gem mines to the north. I don't know if a legion is a good idea for us to try and defeat. In fact, pro tip, I know that the answer is it's not. Because even if you defeat 1 legion, that just means that there's more legions behind them. And this is important. The South MarchLord. They've got nothing. We need to go south. Oh, what are we doing wasting our time? Now that I know where this road is going, we're immediately going to turn south. We're gonna maybe see if there's anything out in this direction that we ought to pick up. 1, 2, probably not. There's probably something there. Tristan can go explore that in just a moment or two. Vexen TV. Hello, guys. Hello, Vexen. Nice to have you back. Appreciate seeing you there. We are playing some Athland, and this is our second playthrough. In the first shot, we were a little too slow, and we got obliterated by one of these patrolling guards. The interesting novel thing about this scenario is that there is not much as far as resources go. And the reason is because we have so many tax liens, we have so many negative artifacts, and so whenever we get gold, we have to spend it immediately. And that feels not great, but we're making it work. We're making it work. Okay, we're gonna sit right here on this archer's hut, and we're gonna pick those guys up tomorrow. Should we take this back and go to the trading post before we head north? I think we shall. And with that being said, let's actually stand right here on this windmill so we can pick up some resources and then head back into the jousting fields and go from there. Okay. But yeah, we've got one, well, let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these little hovels here. We are officially, folks, we're in the red. Folks, we've done it. Look at this. Our kingdom income, though we are negative 1,750, we are getting 250 gold per day. We are actually, we're in the black. We're doing it. We're doing it. We are getting gold every single turn from here on out. And for the first 3 weeks, that was not the case. I like my chances moving forward. Now, that does not mean that every 2 weeks we're not still going to get absolutely obliterated by a tax collector coming by and stealing our stuff, but hey, I can handle that every 2 weeks. That I can deal with. Okay. And now this is a big pickup, 6 of the cavalries. I think that we're just gonna stop in for these pikemen on our way back. We're gonna maybe combine these peasants. Yeah, we'll combine the peasants. And then we're gonna head south, defeat Lord Astra, and go from there. Because at this point we do have our mass haste. That should be enough. That should be enough. Help things go right. Let's trade all the wood. Let's trade all the ore, all the gems. Let's go on a spending spree. Here. 10 pikemen. And up here. 1 cavalry. And, oh, let's just get the 1 ranger. And we'll call it a day. 60 gold worth of peasants. Sure. Why not? Okay. Rice Ruin says, if only you had ghosts, those legions look juicy. You know, actually, that's a good thought. Now, we do have Twitter over here, who is doing Twitter things, and I'm sure that this is going to be the final boss, right? Has to be the final boss. But if there's a way to get even 1 ghost from these barrow mounds, we could have a field day here. And I am not above abusing the ghost game mechanic in order to get a successful victory. No. Folks, did you see that? They stole our boat. Is that supposed to happen? I don't think that's supposed to happen. Somebody summoned the boat away. Oh my goodness. That is... I'm not going to say I'm mad, but I'm like, hey, wait a second. That's not what was supposed to happen. And then we did see somebody just barely off screen here. I think that we want to go chase down whoever was off screen. I want to go chase them down. That's my goal. Rise to Ruin's like, yeah, summon boat. And then Vexen, so Elon Musk is the final boss with an army of zombies? He is, pretty much. And it's funny because they predicted that Elon Musk would have a zombie Twitter army because this game or this scenario was made in like 1998. So yeah, they predicted that very, very much so. Rice to Ruin says, heading south might be a good idea to also try to hook up with your other hero, but I think that the hero next to the boat will be problematic. I think that Lord Astra will be, and I just wish I knew what she had more than the several champions. What does she have? I don't know. Let's pick up all these other towns, and then we'll figure out what we do from there. Oh, there's another hero guarding what looks to be a pass here. Gold, resources. We're going to have to deal with that in a second, but we can absolutely defeat the South MarchLord. This enemy has fled. Let's prevent them from running. Whatever we do, let's prevent them from running. And one huge advantage I have is that these 414 peasants is going to be a lot of troop that the AI is going to consider as power stack. They're not going to want to run until the peasant stack is too low, We just have to make sure that we use our superior speed to pounce on them all at the last possible second. And we shall. Oh yes, and we shall. Let's kill 7 to 9 there. Peasants are being peasants doing peasant things. Mine are too, for that matter. And then 1, 2. I don't want to I don't want to deal with these archers because I don't want to take the damage from these 414 peasants. We're going to back off. This is so bad. This is so bad. Because anybody you use to deal with these archers are going to get hit by 414 peasants, which actually do a lot of damage. In the meantime, their archers did 5 archers worth of damage. They're going to kill probably another 4 to 8. I'm going to take 1 step forward. I'm going to see what these peasants do. If they go up, then I might be able to sneak back behind. Maybe. We'll see. I'm actually going to have my pikemen go back because if these peasants get good morale, that's not going to feel too good. 4 archers goes down. Let's do 1 more hit of 6 to 9. Did you say 69? No, I said 6 to 9. Yeah, and the peasants are stepping up in a way that I just don't like. But at this point, the numbers are small enough. It's just a huge cost. And I really don't want this March Lord to run like the other one did. Let's attack in this direction. Let's hope that they don't get good morale. They could. They could. But let's hope for the best. We're gonna skip. Wait. Hold. Kill. No good morale. And now we spring our trap. Okay. So everybody needs to attack. We're gonna kill a couple hundred. Tell you what, let's just wait 1 more turn. Let's have everybody back off 1 more time. And the reason why we're backing off is because archers are gonna take down a couple. Ugh. There goes 100 peasants. That's not too good. Skip. And now I think that my numbers are small enough that I feel like I can attack. I'm gonna take some losses, maybe 1 cavalry, but this will save me at least 1. Yeah, so 1 cavalry loss, 7 hit points left. There's 174 here. We're gonna kill 58 worth. Do we kill them all? Archers go after peasants. 58 here. Maybe 58 here. Tell you what, if I just attack with the Master Swordsman, that brings us, well, with good luck, we might kill them outright. 66? Yeah, let's just kill them all. No! It was highly unlikely that we killed them all. And for all of my finagling, for all of my tactical scheming, we not only let our enemy escape, but we also lose 100 peasants and we lose 11 archers. What a bad fight that was. Ugh. 5 peasants left. A Wet Tom Selleck says, you're completely correct. What a blunder. Dare I say that was a blunder. Absolutely a blunder. Come on, Fix Fox. Oh, it was, I think that I had a strategy that would have worked, but then when the Master Swordsman got the good luck, I erroneously thought that maybe the damage counters, maybe I'd get lucky twice. Maybe the pikemen would do the top end of damage, and they failed to do that. So I'm not saying I'm sad, but I am saying that I'm a little bit sheepish about the way that just went. Folks, this is the purple hero, Captain Boar, and they're sitting right here from guarding whatever this is, and there looks like there might be just the feet of another hero. Maybe those are centaurs? Whatever that is, there's somebody else right there, but we're going to ignore them for now. They're going to stay on a chain. I think that they're just there to prevent you from going into this general area over there. Very sad. Very sad. Okay. But we have more heroes coming up to the front, and then this hero here, Tristan, should be able to start scouting in areas that we didn't have time to go scout. And we took out 2 of the March landlords, so could have been worse. Could have been worse. Let's see, Yiz, 1998, and a hero named X. That's what it is. That's what it was. This little sign right here, it was a nice touch by the map maker. It was their little signature. It said what year they created the map and who they were. So we already called them out once. I don't remember their name, but I appreciate them for making this map. Rice Ruin, the town next to the water may also have a shipyard. I feel like it has to, right? Ferry Landing, it's got to have a shipyard just in case something crazy like that happens. So I agree with you on that. And then either they predicted Elon or they were referring to DMX, X gon' give it to you with an absurd amount of bone dragons. Yeah, either way works for me. Either way, I'm not loving my chances, but I don't know how we're going to defeat 3 stacks of a throng of bone dragons. I don't know how we're going to do that. I have no idea, but we'll do our best. We'll do our best. Manny says, Rise to Ruin. Yeah, it's a great song. Tell you what, I really liked DMX. I know that he passed away a couple years ago, but I really liked his work. I'm not much of a rap sort of fan, but he really ended up going kind of a, I don't want to say gospel, but a soul sort of route. And some of his songs were about his struggles and his issues, and he just did a good job. I always liked his music. It was something you could nod your head to in a good way. So, big fan. Let's see. Chris is back from walking the dog. I did take a quick shower also. How are things going? It's going okay. It's not the best I've ever seen it. We did have a little bit of a struggle earlier. We had to do a restart, and the reason for that was essentially because FixFox had too slow of a start. It was my bad. I should have done better. But we are doing much better now than we were the first time, and we have a good foothold on this map, whereas before we were up the creek without a paddle. So it is going pretty good, and we're having a nice, chill conversation in the meantime. What more could I ask for? And Chris, if you were here in the very beginning, we are officially, if you guys did not know it, we are up to 600 gold per day. With all these tax liens, yeah, we're up to 600 gold per day. That feels great. We're still going to spend our gold just as soon as we get it, but I'm feeling okay. Feeling okay. Are any of these towns upgradable into castles? Not one. Not one. See, if I was a map maker, I might have forgotten 1 or 2 of these towns, and I would have accidentally left that off, and then somebody would have said, "Oh, it was a trick. It was unmet expectations," and then all of a sudden, there you go. It's a town that can be upgraded to a castle, when really it would have just been my personal mistake. But whatever the case is, we're still looking for a boat. We're still looking to get to the Aqua Tent. And if this Ferry's Landing does not have a boat or does not have a shipyard, I don't know what we will do. I don't know what we can do at that point. We'll have to wait and find out. Vexen, I feel like the PvP tactic for damaging the main hero of the other player. I feel like a PvP tactic for damage the main hero of the other player. Is that like when you use their troops against each other? Is that like... Help me understand what you mean by that, Vexen. Help me understand. I'm looking to learn. I'm looking to be a better, wiser, stronger, faster Here's My Magic player. Rise to Ruin says, Fix is finally becoming a contributing member of society and paying his taxes. Ah, darn. Yeah. Yeah, Chris, that's all you need to know is FixFox is paying his taxes in this game. Looks like an interesting map. Cool. Yep. And then, what kind of dog do you have, and did he enjoy his walk? That's a very important question that we are all waiting for the answer on. And if you're not waiting for the answer on that, I mean, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, but there's more important things than, you know, Heroes Might and Magic. Sometimes we have to understand how's the dog doing and what's the dog doing. Aha! I lost track of time. The King's taxes hit us hard again. That is going to be the wood and the gold. We could not have really traded for the wood, but that is 2,400 gold we lose, and that doesn't feel great. I'm guessing that this water wheel has been visited. I'm guessing it has. It's day 7. We're going to go through the fountain, get some luck, and I'm going to split off one single cavalry. Maybe it's going to be useful to win this fight. No problems. Glorious victory, 1,000 experience, and here comes the money. Here comes the money. Folks, we're up to level 8 with 4 attack and 10 defense, 2 spell power, 1 knowledge. I really like this. I think that I would love 1 instance of extra spell power. That would be very useful. As it stands, I'm happy with what we have, but it could be just a little bit better. We're going to wait here overnight. We're going to have just enough gold to purchase some swordsmen tomorrow, and then we'll set off. Yeah, then we'll set off. We do have 29 archers in the rear here. We're going to have Tristan explore up here because I didn't have the chance to do so. I do know that there's this little crevasse here. I don't know what's there, but again, somebody else has to explore that. I think I can pick up more towns before the beginning of the new week, or at least before day 7 of the new week. Folks, we made it. Month 2, week 1, day 1. It is the month of the rock. And after regular growth, the population of the rocks have doubled. Do we have any rocks in a place that doesn't feel good to us? These rocks are now guarding this water wheel. That can't be allowed to stand. Pack of rocks here, not too big of a deal. Is the road home covered up? You dirty dog. Rocks are now guarding this archer's house and this magic garden. That feels bad. But we will soldier on all the same. Okay. +2 on the Mercury. And then let's actually just grab these cavalries just in case there's a fight that we could take. 29 archers is not... It's not nothing. Maybe we can use this to clear out some of this area just a little bit more. And, oh, I got bit and spent my money. Whoops. Never mind. I think that there's one more town over here. Let's see if we can actually reach via road. Through a pack of rocks. Yes, but I think that this is the formation for closed formation. I think that this is correct. Glorious victory, no losses. Let me just double check. Yep, that's the correct formation. Let's see. Jack Russell Terrier, Lakeland Terrier Cross. Ooh, I did not know that. And how old is your dog? Young dog, older dog? I love puppies, but I also like the dogs that are just happy to explore life every single day as if it's the very first time, even though they've got a couple of years on them. Either way, it's just fine. He enjoyed his walk. His name is Barney. Aw, 16 years old. Gotcha. Okay, great. 16 years old. That's a bit of an old dog for Jack Russell Terrier. I think that it's the larger dogs that don't live as long, so he's probably still got a couple of good years in him, especially if he's enjoying his walk. So all of my best vibes go out to Barney. Do the atrocities never cease? News has arrived that the captured Duke of Elba has been thrown into the deadly Thieves' Wood north of Mount Anvil. The Duke is hardly in his prime anymore. Could he possibly survive the brigands? You send some veteran scouts into the Thieves' Wood to the north to see what they can discover about the Duke's fate. I think that that's what that is. Oh, wow. This time we lost some forces. I don't know. Tell you what, I've really been enjoying the storytelling in this scenario. It's been really fantastic. This is just another instance where I'm hoping that whatever that Duke is up north, that he's going to be useful for us to try and keep him safe. And maybe he's going to have some forces with him that'll help us survive the oncoming onslaught, because it feels like there's an awful lot of damage in the future that we're going to have to overcome. Again, I don't know. I do not know how we're going to be able to defeat all of these bone dragons, but maybe there's going to be some forces in the future. Maybe there's going to be, I don't know. Maybe there's going to be some help from the sprites. I don't even know if the 9,999 phoenixes that our allies have is going to be enough to defeat all those bone dragons. I just don't know. There's just too many questions I don't have answers to. That worked out perfectly. This one archer's got 1 hit point left. They are not going to fight. We're going to let everybody else do that. 1 and 1. We saved a pikeman. Not too bad. And then this place, 1 pikeman goes down for 1,000 experience. We're going to accept that. And we're going to take expert estates, 500 gold. And I think that we might have secured the marchlands. Minus this 1 ferry landing, I think that we've secured everything else. And this feels like a good spot for us. Maybe there's more to be had up here. And maybe not, but let's find out. Good thing that this is not Heroes 4 and these guards are not patrolling. Let's head south, continue our exploration. Oh, Southwood, there's more to be had. Let's go from there. Bammy says, hi Chris, good to see you back. I've been playing Heroes of Might Magic 1 campaign and now, kind of, know how to beat all the levels. So if you're looking for tips, feel free to hit me up. Perfect. Bammy, says Chris, it's the damn Armageddon spell. It's so overpowered. Does me in every time. I hear that loud and clear. Yeah. Vammy asks what level they're on. Zapixo. Hello, Zapixo. Nice to have you back. This time I said Zapixo and not Zapisco. So I got you. I remember. I'm getting better. I'm getting smarter. Hello, everyone. Hello, FixFox. Nice to see you there. Vammy does say that, going back to Heroes 1, I haven't really had trouble with Armageddon other than the times that the AI was a sore loser and throws an Armageddon as a send-off. And that's just a tactic that is never going to stop being a Heroes Might Magic thing. So we're just going to have to soldier on with that. If you were unaware, folks, 9,999 Phoenix are right here for Princess Eve. If we can get to this purple barrier, hopefully she can do some damage for us. But again, is that going to defeat a legion of bone dragons? I don't know. I just don't know. But we're going to have to hold out hope that that's going to be at least some degree of an equalizer. We're going to wait and find out. Okay, 1 and 2. Man, there's more towns here than I thought. I'm glad that we headed south. And meanwhile, I'm glad that we had our other hero kind of go north here to figure out what's up here. Tristan finds some experience, Shrine of the First Circle. Shouldn't have any problems with gold being spirited away from us. 44 enemy archers. Tell you what, I think I can make this fight go just a little bit better. Yeah, just a little bit better. Can I? Let's do the mass haste here. We're gonna see if we can find a better use of the mass haste later, but for now, maybe we get good morale once. Anywhere? Nope, unfortunately not. We are gonna get the first salvo of damage off. 10 to 15 of the enemy archers goes down. We're down to 23, down to 22. 22 of the archers remaining there. And then from here, it's just slaughter. You feel bad. You feel bad. But there's this nice little triangle of advantage in Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Ground troops, flying troops, ranged troops. And they all kind of counter each other. And if you can jump on top of the ranged troops, hey, you had one good shot at me and you didn't do enough with it. 4 of our archers goes down. We did save a couple. And is this, yes, this is a place where we can actually recruit archers? I am just fine with that. Captain Boer, a ruthless man, has been encamped for some time in the eastern regions of the marshlands. I see you there, sir. I see you there. Huh, interesting. So we are picking up a couple of different quality troops over time. Let's remember to, before the beginning of the new month, make sure we purchase everybody we can. Every 2 weeks we have to purchase because of taxes, but also we're going to want to try and do a little bit more than that, simply because if there is a month of the plague, we're going to wish that we had sent everybody we had to the front lines. There's our boat. I don't know if this is good or bad, or if this is good or bad, how good or bad this is. Is there some great treasure at sea that was meant for us, but the FHeroes2 AI is too smart, and they are now going to take it instead of us? I do not know. I cannot say. Chris is talking about Lord Iron Fist. He might be on the second scenario. Hasn't fired up the Heroes of Might and Magic 1 game out of frustration. No worries there. Yeah, it's supposed to be a relaxing experience. And if you're not relaxed, then it might not be worth the time. So, yeah. And then Barney's mom was 18 when she passed on. She was a purebred Jack Russell, whereas Barney is half Jack Russell and half Lakeland. So, being a cross, he might have a good few years left in him. He shows no signs of slowing. That is my hope, is that in my life that I will show no signs of slowing. If and when it happens, I will accept it graciously. But for now, my hope is that it'll just never happen. Likelihood, very low, but we will see. I don't know about this, folks. Aaron has gained a level, +1 spell power. Do we pick up the wisdom or the archery? Archery is going to be useful now. Wisdom could be more useful later. I'm gonna hope that the 10%, the 25% bonus damage from expert archery is not going to be as useful as maybe opting into expert wisdom sooner. Maybe we find a pyramid. Maybe we find something nice. Who knows? I can't say, but we're gonna wait and find out. Whoa! Goliath has a horde of nomads and 1 or 2 giants. I don't know if I'm gonna want to deal with this guy, especially if there's rocks everywhere. My goodness. But we do see Princess Anne for the first time. We might go drop in on her and just say hello. Zapixo, amazing, you got me. Every now and again, I'll surprise you. Rice to Ruin says, I'd love to hear counter arguments, but I think expert estates should be buffed to 750 or 1,000 gold. 100, 250, and 500 is too weak compared to the benefits of other skills. I'll let everybody else think on that and say what they think about that. Maybe people have already done so. We will see. Zapixo, the music of Price of Loyalty. You know, some people enjoy the original sound and some people enjoy the expansion campaign scenario. Depending on where you're at, you might love or hate the fact that I have stuck with this music, but it's the ones that I love the most. It's the ones I'm most familiar with. So let me know if you guys prefer the Price of Loyalty or the Secession Wars music more. Either way, I hope that you're enjoying the music here. And then Rice to Ruin, archery is 150% bonus damage. Ballistics is 200% damage with a double shot. Estates just feels weak in comparison. Tell you what, counter argument to that is gold not the most important stat in the game? Maybe it is, and maybe it's not. But just something to think about, that like that would be my initial, just my initial from the hip sort of shot there. That's my general thought would be, yes, it is weaker in comparison, but also gold itself has a greater effect overall, because gold translates to troops, which translates to stats, and so that would be my argument anyway. Valid or not, I'm not too sure. Just my thought. And then, that's right, it's not the vanilla OST. I love them both anyway. Whoa, what an army. Yeah, there's a couple of great armies out there. This army with Princess Eve there. This army here with Princess Anne with 5,000 sprites. This Queen Ida with 4,400. Well, excuse me, 44,000 sprites, nearly 45,000 sprites. But then there's also, of course, X, who's got swarms of power liches and legions of bone dragons. It's pretty nitty gritty out there. It's a little tough to deal with all of our foes. We're gonna see what we have to do here. Yeah. Scary faces all around. And we're just happy that we've carved out this little area for ourselves to be safe in. And so far, I think that we're doing okay and picking up advantages where we can. But I think that we're gonna have to go north through these legions of rogues in order to really kind of move on to the next area. Maybe, let's see, Aquatent goes to somewhere here. Maybe that's going to be where we have to go. I don't know. We'll find out. The soldiers living in the fort teach us a few new defensive tricks. That's lovely. And it looks like blue barriers here and here. We don't have that just yet. This sign says to the Elven Wood. Where to go there? I'm not too sure. Did you win the Jerks map finally? No. I was wondering if I should do Eric's the Jerk here on stream today or not. And I have not returned to it. I've just had a really crazy week. So I will be going back to that at some point. It'll probably not be on stream, but I did, as I mentioned earlier, I want to give it the love and attention that a speedrunning sort of map like Pyramid kind of deserves, where you take the time to look at the map and strategize, how can we win the map in as few of days as possible? It was Vammy who originally had asked for Eric's the Jerk because they were asking, how do I possibly defeat this map and get the Black Dragon rating? And we tried it on stream, and well, we didn't quite get a Black Dragon rating. Give me some time to prepare on that, and we'll make that happen in the near future. That is my plan. Okay, folks, we got a lot of gold, and there's troops to buy. I think that we should just purchase everybody we have. Not over here, not over here, but everybody else is just kind of available. Let's grab all the troops we can and see what we can do as far as making a good army that can defeat legions of rogues. There's still a couple more swordsmen there. There's a couple more archers in that other town. We'll pick that up in just a second, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Jousting fields. Let's pull these troops down. We're going to go south. We know that this enemy hero here is not going to attack us, but there is a road that goes in this general area. What is here? Druids guard the path, a purple barrier that we do have access to. What else is there? I do not know. But I'm going to go find out, because nobody else deserves any treats on this map other than me. Oh, did you see that? There's a boat. What happened? Folks, that is lovely of Lady Astra to purchase that boat for us. I feel like we need to take advantage of that before it disappears. Not with this army, because I think that she's going to be pretty tough, but we're going to make our way north, and we're going to hop in the boat. We're going to do lots of things. It's going to be pretty quick, but we're going to make this happen. Okay. Vammy says, as a general tip, rush the AI. They won't have Armageddon in Heroes of Might and Magic 1 if you don't give them a chance. If you want to know how to do that, the build order is Archery Range, if you don't start with it, Well, Blacksmith, Tavern, Armory, Jousting Arena. You should have cavalries week 1 or week 2. They are usually unguarded or lightly guarded ore and wood mines and treasure chests, so you should definitely have the resources for it. This formula works on basically all maps. And if you've noticed, when I play Heroes of Might and Magic 2, I have a formula as well. Vammy is mentioning this, of course, works for Heroes of Might and Magic 1. I think that we can all agree that there are some general formulas that will lead you to success more often than not in Heroes of Might and Magic as a series. So, my question to you folks is this: how important is a good fast start? How important is a good fast start? I think that most maps are won in the first couple of days, and it's for that reason that I kind of enjoy the XL. Darn it. That's kind of the reason why I enjoy the XL maps more than other maps. because the XL maps, if you don't have a good fast start, it's not going to be the end of the world. And you're going to get the opportunity to increase your forces and just run amok. Just go crazy, people. And that feels good. That feels good that the map is not won or lost in the first couple of days. Otherwise, small and medium maps, they feel like they're generally won or lost in the first couple of days. But as far as general strategy and formulas in order to win, yeah, I truly do believe that a good fast start is maybe the most important thing you can do on any Heroes of Might and Magic map. So, it's a pick, so I must leave. Have a nice afternoon. Have fun, everyone. It was a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much. You take care. Have a good day or night, my friend. Chris says, that makes sense. Vammy the Vampire, I'm too cautious for my own good. Thanks for the tip. I think I'll restart the scenario with that in mind. Rise to Ruin, as it is Week of the Dog. Week of the Barney, as it were. Week of the Barney. Let's see. Rise to Ruin says, I wonder if the AI had nothing else to spend on, so it bought a boat. If they had nothing else at all to spend on, I'm going to be feeling pretty bad. Because I need them to suffer. I sent the wrong hero. Tristan was supposed to go here, and then my main forces were supposed to go north. Whoops, my bad. But yeah, if they bought a boat because they have too many resources and they've already got mage guilds and level 6 creatures, I'm feeling pretty sheepish. That does not look pretty good for me. I feel strong, and I am stronger than I have been so far. That does not mean that I feel safe. How about that? Vexen says, knowing that they put a hero with a weak army in the front, that means it's a trap. I think you're totally right. I'm sure that there's more here, but I've got to eventually defeat this Lady Astra anyway. I think I can do it. Hope I can do it. Hope I can do it. And an extra 250 gold per day is not going to hurt my feelings too bad. In the town, the army is bigger. I do agree. This is going to be Aaron the Knight, level 10, 4 attack, 12 defense, 3 spell power, 1 knowledge. We do have our mass haste available to us. This is going to be a town and not a castle. We do have the advanced archery for these 79 archers. We are going to be on spread formation and not closed formation. I still think we win this fight. We don't know what's in here, but it is more or less a trap. I do agree with you. I certainly do. Let's hope that we don't lose Tristan with his 229 peasant folk. And Pius, hey, I was the one that wanted you to play this map. How's it going so far? It's going pretty well, sir. Nice to have you here. Yeah, tell you what, we did have to restart one time. I got off to a little bit of a slow start here, and then the MarchLords took us out on the first playthrough. We have now secured much of the Marchlands territory, and there's still, of course, much to be done, but we are officially out of debt. We are actually getting 2,000 gold per day, still paying taxes, and also being very, very active here on the map. Folks, Lady Astra, Fairy Landing. If we lose this fight, that's bad. It looks like this is a tough fight, but not unwinnable. Let's make it happen. So yeah, thank you for the recommendation for playing this map. So far, so good. So far, so good. Bammy says, as far as Heroes of Might and Magic 1, you start on pretty much equal footing, and the AI is kind of dumb, so it sometimes doesn't even get an ore mine for a while. So the faster you get them, they'll be a lot weaker. Perfect. And plus, you'll probably gain some good stats from XP and artifacts, which will make up the fact that you'll have to siege, for example. Yeah, Heroes of Might and Magic 1 probably was the very most important time and place to get a good fast start. And that just, ooh. And that just speaks to that. Ouch, that hurt. Wait a second. 20 Master Swordsmen only killed 7 archers. I wonder why. Is it because Lady Astra, the sorceress with 1 attack and 0 defense, is not able to get through my 12 defense? Maybe. That feels pretty good. We're happy for that. Yeah. I'm not saying that I'm happy with these losses. I'm not happy losing. Geez, that was way more archers than I needed to lose. What a bad bit of luck there for me. 12, 24, 27, geez. Well, right when I started to celebrate that my defense was so high that the enemies couldn't get through, these 38 Rangers, with a bless, then did max damage and obliterated my archers. That feels horrible. That's just the worst. We are unfortunately going to have to use our mass haste here. This is going to give us the opportunity to get into these Rangers. We're going to kill them, not completely. 29 of them do go down. 7-on-7 Master Swordsman Violence. 5. 4 goes down to 0. We finally get our instance of good morale. And this enemy hero is not going to run. Lord Astra, 32 archers. Wow. Wow, that's bad. 32 archers. Ah, that's not good. We won. But at what cost? At what cost? Folks, I'm still going to go for the expert archery. That is a big jump in ranged damage. We're going to take that. And what do we have here? We do have the shipyard, so we can always build a boat. The bones of Lord Slayer are buried in the foundation of the arena. Good to know. Town may not be upgraded to a castle, and I see no reason why we ought not to jump into the boat. Just in case there's some enemies that'll pop out and surprise us here, let's just make sure that we are able to see the Oracle without any problems. A trading post. Oh, lovely. Good. Let's trade all of our gems for gold. And all the wood. And let's see, is there a break in the trees there? I don't believe so. There is one brown barrier. Once we get that brown barrier, we're going to be able to move on to the next stage here with Uncle Thad. Let's have him start picking up tons and tons of these Crusaders. 800 gold remains. I'm going to purchase over here. Pikemen, because these are going to be troops that are going to be useful for some of these upcoming fights sooner rather than later. Okay, and on we go. Chris is saying thank you, thank you. Do you go for gold or XP in general? In Heroes Might and Magic 1 when the option presents itself? Good question. We'll see what Vammy has to say on that. Rise to Ruin. My strat is always well on week 1, and depending on the map size, if I'm playing Barb, I question a statue as well. Usually mandatory with the Warlock start, but I prefer sniping lock castles. Yeah, when we're talking about early strategies, gold is so important, and 2 extra troops a week. I mean, the well is vitally important. You cannot go wrong with the well in that instance. Ah, the Isle of the Oracle. As you step up, the aged Oracle beckons you closer. I've seen the Athland's troubles and the darkness that has crept into her heart. I know of your efforts in fighting the darkness. I know also that you seek to reunite the fabled armor of the sun. One of the 2 missing pieces is north in the hands of the Prince of Thieves. Take the magical word to pass through the enchanted forest. It is the only safe way into the wood. Good to know. You mention your brother's plight to the Oracle. The old man nods. There is one who can help. He lives in the enchanted forest, atop a rocky spire in the westernmost section of the forest. The way will be difficult, so be prepared. That's where we're going to get rid of all of our problem children artifacts. That's going to be where we get rid of the... Oh, that's where we're going to get rid of the tax liens and the hideous masks and the fizzbins of misfortune. Yeah, so we're going to do that as soon as we can. This Identify Hero spell, I'm for it. I like the Identify Hero spell. It's a good one. We cannot actually reach the Oracle. I'm going to step out of my way here just in case there was something nifty that would pop up. Some kind of text bubble. There was not, but it was a worthwhile try all the same. Okay. Bammy does mention that he goes for gold over experience. But it's a developed habit, usually due to the fact that I play on impossible difficulty, and I'm usually broke. Hands up if you're usually broke when you play Heroes of Might and Magic. For some reason, I just always spend my gold. What can I say? Happens every time. There is a bloody altar. Through the wood, there is a necromancy castle. Interesting. I think I'm going to hop up here. I'm going to try and get all these troops into my army. I don't know whether it's better to go here first or there, but I'm gonna clear out all this. I think I can clear out all this, and so I shall. That's what I'll do. And then there is a path there again. I will combine forces, and then we'll send Tristan in that direction. Okay, cool. Let's see, Rise to Ruin. 32 isn't bad if you can upgrade the rest in the castle. True, true. Bammy says, at what cost? 250 gold per day. Sometimes, never mind, sad times, Rise to Ruin says. Yeah. And Chris is happy for the help on the Heroes Might and Magic 1. I feel like playing now. I won't because I always like to catch Fix Fox. I appreciate that. All the same, my hope is that if you want to play yourself, it's never going to hurt my feelings when you say, hey, I'd love to watch your stream, but I'd like to play myself right now. Put yourself in the driver's seat, I always say. I enjoy playing, and I hope that you get the chance to play so yourself as well. So I appreciate whenever people spend time with me. Your free time is important, it's valuable, and we just don't have as much of it as we would like. And so I'm always supportive of you spending time doing things that you like the very, very most. Arbiter Dan, hey Arbiter Dan, nice to see you there. I appreciate seeing you. I haven't been playing much Heroes of Might and Magic 4 since I saw you last, but I sincerely appreciated your input there. And maybe you caught the YouTube video on the Heroes of Might and Magic 4 playthrough. Appreciate having you there. Nice to have you back here for some Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Nice seeing you. Vammy says, well, let me know how it goes when you do play for the Heroes of Might and Magic 1. And then, ooh, behind the purple barrier is a secret forest cult. The druids are hooded cultists. Vammy, that is good storytelling that I didn't even think about. I assumed that they were sorceresses, but no, cultists, that's what they are. Here is Captain Boar. An encampment of the King's men. They seem to be unaware of your activities. Perhaps you can vanquish the captain, and your silver-tongued brother might convince some of the men to join your side. Tristan's not still cursed, is he? Because we don't have diplomacy anymore? I mean, he's right here. All I gotta do is get rid of the Hideous Mask, right? I can trade the Hideous Mask, can't I? Maybe not. Maybe not. All the same, let's defeat this enemy now. The enemy has fled. Let's keep this guy from fleeing. He's got to have a couple of good artifacts. Has to, right? Chris says, will do. I'll let you know on the Real Fix Fox Discord. I'm called Chris C on there. Are you the same name on there? Yep, you are. Yep. Okay, perfect. And then Arbiter Dan, you inspired me to go back to Heroes of Might and Magic 4, and I did a few impossible campaigns myself. LOL, I had a nice time. I'm thrilled to hear it. I am thrilled to hear that. Good on you. And I hope it turned out as well for you as it did for me. Granted, I needed a lot of help, and so doing it solo, I think that you're the right man for the job. So hopefully it went well for you. Let me know. Let's see, there. Oh, jeez. We are taking a beating. Good morale in the previous fight and good luck in this fight. My goodness. Thankfully, we get one instance of good morale, but it feels pretty bad. It feels like we are getting slaughtered in some of these fights. And we do have the superior ranged forces, but I'm not worried about the 5 cavalry damage. I am worried about the pikeman damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I back off with the cavalries. To here. I let the cavalries get into my archers, and I will try and step on these cavalries as soon as I can. I just don't want the pikemen to do full damage to my cavalries. Yeah, take my pikemen. I don't even care about them, but everybody else I do care about. Let's kill cavalries here so we can do the full damage from the archers. 30 down to 28 on my master swordsman. And the enemy flees anyway. Amazing. I did not think the enemy would flee at that point. That's a bit of a surprise, but we'll take our 1,000 experience and maybe we will see them again in the future. And now I understand. So these are troops that are more likely to join us if we have Tristan locked and loaded, ready with his silver tongue to get them to join. They're probably not all going to join, but some amount of them I'm sure will. Okay. With that being said, I do want to explore over here first. What is this? Above you sits a towering spire of rock. This cloud-shrouded pinnacle on the western slope of Mount Anvil is rumored to be the home of a giant. This giant is said to have the legendary 7-league boots. Speed could be vital in your battle against the king. Maybe you should climb up the narrow, twisting road up to the top and see for yourself if the rumors are true. Will I run into some enemies? That's my fear. Oh, that's my fear. Will I be ambushed? Or will I be able to make it up there? I don't know if that's safe for me to just go explore. I think I ought to turn back around. I've already gone far enough that I'm not too sure if it's in my best interests to possibly lose Tristan for nothing. And I already know that there's something up there. I will come back. It's already told me everything I need to know. I already know that I want to go back, so I will go back with a bigger army later. Not Tristan. Not Tristan. But we are starting to defeat these rocks. Glorious victory. 1 pikeman goes down. That seems fine. We're going to definitely take the basic wisdom, or rather the expert wisdom. And we're level 12. I'm looking for +1 knowledge. Can anybody give me +1 knowledge? Anybody at all? Sooner rather than later. That's my hope. Okay. Let's see. And then Rice Ruin. Yes, you can pass the Hideous Mask to another hero as far as I know. Okay. So we may do that soon. We may do that pretty soon. I wonder if I have enough forces to really convince these enemies to join me or not. I don't know about that. Maybe we do. Maybe not. Chris, has anyone here played a game called Songs of Conquest? I do know that Winnie Maru has been playing some Songs of Conquest, and he's been having tons and tons of fun with it. I've not played Songs of Conquest just yet. it's on my list of games to play when I get the chance, but I just haven't gotten the opportunity to play it yet. So down the road somewhere. In the meantime, I can recommend Winnie Maru. You can watch his stuff. He's got some excellent stuff. Heroes of Might and Magic, a couple of other games like Odd World. Yeah, really like his stuff. Rice Druin asking about the mass haste for these fights. Yeah, I'm still short on the spell points at the moment, but soon I hope that we can get that taken care of. Master Swordsman should drop down here for this upcoming moment. Let's just help out a little bit. And this fight is over. There should be no concerns about this moving forward. We're going to call that good for a second. Glorious victory, 6 archers, 3 of the cavalries. I don't love it. And there's still a horde of greater druids. If I wait 2 more days, I'm going to get the spell points necessary in order to fight that fight even better. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to fight that fight until we have to. Another day. I think that tomorrow is tax day. So let's make all of our purchases now. Let's actually start over here. I think that Crusaders now is going to be useful for later anyway. So we're going to do that. Day 6, so we don't need to wait on the archer's house. And we're going to go to right here, knowing that tomorrow we're going to set off with 1 additional spell point. And this is going to be the High Priest. You were completely right, Vammy. This is a High Priest necromantic cult. This is not necromancers per se. This is more about a cult of High Priests. Good on ya. I'm for it. Arbiter Dan, yeah, I did Galdoth and Mongos. I got bored of the Elves campaign. Is that like Sheridan, and is that the Lovers campaign? Because I think that Mongo is in like Heroes 4 Winds of War. It's in one of the expansions. But so yeah, Galdoth in the original, and then Winds of War for one of the other ones. I'm not sure which Elves campaign that is. Bambi says, is this an overlook by the FHeroes2 team? In Heroes Might and Magic 1, I got the Fizbin of Misfortune on my main hero, and I couldn't trade it away. And now I have a hazy memory of being unable to do so in the original Heroes Might and Magic 2. But you are allowed to in FHeroes2. I am not sure about this though, and it could be very well misremembering. I seem to remember the same. I seem to remember as well that you're not supposed to be able to trade the Fizbin of Misfortune. I could be wrong too. We'll have to wait and see. Split the peasants on Lord Kilburn or Tristan. Sure. Let's just do that. They're not going to fight, so I'm not too worried about it. Arbiter Dan has played Songs of Conquest. Okay, there we go. There's my 10 spell points I need. I'm going to fight this just so it's going to go much better. Chris asks what he thinks about it. Vexen also likes Songs of Conquest as well. So we got a couple of Songs of Conquest fans in the chat. I'm thrilled for it. Any bit of good morale here. Any bit of good morale. Anybody? Any good morale? Nope. Looks like it's just gonna be pikemen that go down anyway. At least I left my archers alone. Okay. But yeah, so in general, what are people's thoughts on Songs of Conquest? I am all ears. Damage, and more damage. Cool. Arbiter Dan says it's pretty great. It looks a lot like Heroes of Might and Magic 2, but the strategy is more in-depth. The magic abilities are imbalanced. Once you get the hang of them, they are absolutely OP. Gotcha. And then Vexen says that they believe the Songs of Conquest is way more balanced than Heroes of Might and Magic. Okay. So some things are more balanced and maybe some things are not as balanced. That's pretty interesting to know. This High Priest is going to get obliterated by Crusaders and Master Swordsmen and Cavalries anyway. Horde, yeah, we can defeat him. We shall. Whoa! Not good. Abort. 96? That was unexpected. Okay. Well, this High Priest Necromancer has 2 attack, 1 defense, 5 spell power, 6 knowledge, blood, morale, and Irish luck. If 96 greater druids gets morale or luck, we are in deep trouble. Okay. Well. Let's see how this goes in just 1 second. Chris says Absolute Zero on YouTube doesn't like it. I thought it looked promising. I don't know. Does Absolute Zero still do Heroes of Might and Magic 2 content? Has he moved on to FHeroes2? That's a question actually that I don't know the answer to. Does he still do Heroes or does he do FHeroes2? Also, do you guys feel that there's a significant difference between Heroes of Might and Magic 2 Gold and FHeroes2? See, I play FHeroes2, but I stream in the Heroes of Might and Magic 2 category. Should I stream in the FHeroes2 category on Twitch? Like, is it that different? Is it that different? I know it's different. Is it that different? You tell me. And then Yiz says, I've played Songs of Conquest. I didn't like it much, mostly because of the graphics, but there were overall mechanics I didn't like. Okay, interesting to know. Good insight. Chris does FHeroes2. Chris does think that Absolute Zero does FHeroes2 now. Arbiter Dan says, as far as I'm concerned, the graphics can be colored bricks. If the gameplay is solid, I'll play anything. I am a big fan of Battle Brother, and the units have no legs. Okay, sounds good. And then Vexen says, agreed about the graphics, but the gameplay is fun. Yeah, I have seen Songs of Conquest. I didn't fall in love with the graphics, but that doesn't mean it's horrible. That just was my opinion anyway. Okay. Okay. Huh. Thankfully, I think I can fight this fight a little bit better than the AI is going to fight this fight. And here's how I mean. So we're going to get down the battlefield with these... That's big. With these troops. And we're going to have the cavalry sit here. They're going to attack this greater druid. So they're not going to waste their turn completely. But that's going to give these other troops time to get up to the greater druids. I'm going to ignore these guys. Archers are going to have to deal with them. Oh, that's a lot of damage to lose. 3 to 5. Let's kill 3 to 5. Maybe Master Swordsmen go down in a second. Okay. And because they're hasted, they get to go first. Yeah, not good, not good. We kill 3 there. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Stop hitting me. I don't appreciate you hitting me in the face. Sometimes you just gotta sing to them. You know, you just gotta sing to the enemy and just tell them, I think you're a piece of garbage. And whether they believe you or not, you have to stand up for yourself and just tell them how you really feel. But now, because we did not lose the cavalries immediately, because the enemies were hasted and they attacked these archers, does 60 pikemen, 25 swordsmen, and then these 5 master swordsmen, does this beat 85 druids who are doing half damage, especially when we have 13 defense and 5 attack compared to your 2 attack, 1 defense? I think that we win now, but it's much closer than I would have liked. I think that we all know that this is much closer than we would have liked. But I do think that we win now. Down to 64, 54, 22. Our stats are ultimately the equalizer. If we had fought the fight differently, tactically, the cavalries had to take 1 extra shot from the greater druids. But because we used the cavalries to attack this bottom 1, then we were able to get away with something cheeky. Is the enemy going to run away? They do not run away. They decide to stick it out. Well, I'm just going to sit here and contemplate my life for a second. Because we fought that fight perfectly. And there's no reason that the enemy shouldn't have fled the first time, but they decided to take a cheeky shot at us, then get the good morale, and then run. And every time that happens, I have flashbacks to Heroes of Might and Magic 2 Gold when the AI knew if it would or would not get good morale. And like you would see the crazy stuff. You would see troops that could reach you in 2 turns, but not 1. And when they knew they were going to get the good morale, they would move down the battlefield and put themselves in range of your shooters or your critical unit or whatever. And now it feels like that just happened, but I've been assured by the FHeroes2 team that that is not the way that their AI operates. But still, in my heart of hearts, I have flashbacks to a very omnipotent AI, and it makes me sad. So, the enemy has fled. If they had artifacts, I don't get them. If they had tax liens, I definitely don't get them, but that's okay. Bloody Altar. We're going to go and pick that up all the same. Okay. Let me get caught up on chat, and you guys can read this while I get caught up on chat. Okay. Let's see. Arbiter Dan, did I see haste in your inventory? Yep, I got 2 spell scrolls, one of which is mass haste. We only got the 1 knowledge, though. We saved our mass haste, or we used it on the previous fight. I didn't think that we would need it as bad there. It worked out, but still, we made it happen. We made it happen. It's just an improvement, Chris says, probably regarding the cursed artifacts not being able to be traded around. In the Heroes Might and Magic 2 gold category should be fine, in my opinion. Oh, okay, no. The FHeroes2 is an improvement, and so streaming in Heroes 2 gold category should be fine. Gotcha. I appreciate that. Rise to Ruin. Arbiter Dan has mass haste, but no spell points. Yeah. And then Arbiter Dan, you're totally right. 85 druids were totally bad news. It came down to our attack and defense skill being significant, and that turned out okay for us. Bammy says, consider this. There's people streaming Horn of the Abyss and Wake of the Gods on the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 ROE category. That would be Restoration of Arathia. I think FHeroes2 on the Heroes of Might and Magic 2 category is fair game. Okay, I appreciate that very, very much. I appreciate that. Rise to Ruin. I think that singing to the enemy is a skill Kelvin's coin uses often and to great effect. Should definitely consider. Yeah, I tell you what, if he's got a winning strategy there, I would be a fool not to mimic him in that strategy that works so very, very well for him. So, Ross, wherever you're out there, keep singing, brother. Keep it up. Lord Shadowing says, I'm here. Dang, I slept in late. Just woke up. It's 2 p.m. here. Lord Shadowing, nice to have you here in the chat. Always a pleasure, sir. Thanks for being here. Thanks so much. And hopefully you're still waking up and doing better now that you're awake. Arbiter Dan, those druids needed a good old blind. I appreciate that. And then Rise to Ruin, everybody's saying hi. Everybody's saying hi to Lord Shadowing. Manny agrees with me. A little bit of cheating AI. Maybe, maybe not. Tough to say. We're going to take our prize, though. This is going to be the Dragon Sword of Dominion plus 3 attack skill. It seems that the rumors were true. You nearly have to whip your men forward. None like the feel of the vile old shrine that you have found in the darkest part of the Black Bog. Bloodstains, both old and new, cover the grisly altar. In amongst the bones, rotting armor, and rusting swords is a sword that seems to have not rusted at all. And this is Skull Pile with, hey, a shrine. That's our shrine, just in case we needed it. But really, we fought all these enemies. We lost like 19 cavalries for plus 3 attack. Worth it? I think not. I think not. Folks, it's a new month, though. And soon, very, very soon, we're going to be able to, hopefully, pick up what we need to get these troops to join us. Based off the previous conversations that we have all just had, I am going to send Tristan up north, and I'm going to hope that he can use his diplomacy to get those troops to join us. I know that we just lost a lot of our troops, and now is not the right time necessarily to try and get them to join us, but I think that we'll make it work all the same. Let's pick up archers. Let's just do a big sweep here and pick up the pace. Sometimes I get distracted and I start talking when I ought to just zero in on what's going on, but right now the way forward seems pretty clear to me. And I feel, as we've mentioned before, pretty safe. I don't think that an enemy is going to come in some sort of unexpected way. At this point, the only way that somebody could come and really ruin my day would be if they had the blue barrier already under their control, and then they came through these stone liths. If they did that, then I'd be in a real tough time, but I don't think we're in too big of a problem in the meantime. Goliath, that's another opportunity. I feel like I can defeat him in a moment or two, just not yet. Let's replenish our ranged forces. We're up to, it looks like it's going to be, 52 archers at the moment. We're going to wait one more night, one more day, and defeat some rocks for experience. And yeah, let's just consolidate all of our forces. It's day 6. I wonder if tomorrow is going to be the day when tax liens hit us. It's going to be gems and such lost. I would love to have one single marketplace anywhere, because trying to sit on the trading posts doesn't really work, because I need as many heroes as I can to move forward. It looks like it's going to be tax day next day, and we'll deal with that in just one second. Expert luck, nice pickup. We've already been to this fort. Heading south. And swordsman it is. So even though our forces are spread out, we are picking them up fairly quickly. Surely we are. Okay. More here. I think it was just peasants here in Ferry Landing. Yeah. So no reason to stop in there. But I do need to get these forces up because I'm officially to the point where I've got too many resources to simply let slip through my fingers. Back up to 21 of the cavalries. Is this enough to get a hordes of troops to join me? I think so. I do think so. So I'm just going to drop these troops off while Lord Kilburn, aka Tristan, heads in this other direction for this trading post. The quickest trading post, the closest one that he can get to. Okay. Let's get caught back up on chat. So, let's see. Bets on graveyards containing more tax liens. Anyone? Anyone? Rise true, and that's a good one. Yeah, thankfully, that's not going to be a concern because these two graveyards are actually inaccessible. I wish that they were, because, I mean, you can find the best artifacts in the game in a graveyard. It's completely random. In the same way that it's completely random whether or not you can get, like, I don't know, not the Armor of the Damned, but Battle Garb of Andrin. That's random. You can absolutely pick that up for free from a graveyard. If only that's where you're headed. Since we're here, let's take the forces there. We're going to be here on the trading post just in the nick of time, trading all of our resources. That's going to be all this wood. It's going to be all these gems, even the sulfur. And then let's use that gold to purchase everybody we have, and then go from there. 3, none, 6, 9, any, 10, 10. It's not lost upon me again that we have 48 champions sitting here, but these are in a place that's fairly inaccessible to me at the moment. And so we just have to hope that we don't hit Month of the Plague. The rest of our gold is more or less spent. Let's put the rest of that into champions and crusaders. Okay. And then we'll continue up this way into this sort of, I don't know, what was it? I don't want to say it was like a prayer garden, but it was something. The king's taxes, they've missed us just barely. But we're going to try and find out whatever giant is up here at this little altar. Bambi says, that's what you get for attacking a cult of firebenders at this point in the game. Yeah, seriously. Already up to a horde? My goodness. I don't think I could have fought them any sooner, though. That was about as quickly as we could have fought them. Chris says, Real Fix Fox, do you ever miss not having an underground in Heroes of Might and Magic 2 like there is in Heroes of Might and Magic 3? I think if some people are to be believed, I'm not going to say who they are, but if some people are to be believed, there may be something like an underground coming in the future with FHeroes2. I'm not going to tell you my source. I'm not going to tell you who I heard that from. Suffice to say, they said that here in the chat on Twitch at one point. If that person is to be believed, then that might be something that might happen in the future. I don't think that you can plan on it. I don't think that I should plan on it. I'm probably in the wrong for even saying that it might be a possibility. But, Chris, there may be an underground in the future. We will see. Right now, the FHeroes2 team is just trying to make the game restored to the way it was. And then down the road, they're going to add new special stuff. But for now, they're just trying to make sure that it works the way it is. And again, these are guys that go to work, and then after work, they spend 2-3 hours trying to get the game in a good spot. So the amount of work that takes to make something like that happen is crazy. No timetable. I wouldn't even plan on that happening. But if it does happen, just know that some people have already got that as a thought in their mind. Your veteran scouts to the Thieves' Wood return with mixed news. The Prince of Thieves has captured the Duke of Elba and holds him for ransom. Sadly, no one seems about to pay the price, and the Duke probably won't remain alive for long. He is going to remain alive until I tell him he can die. Oh boy, a few giants. I think that that's easy. The giants are awed by the power of our forces. I want the 150 experience. That feels bad for that poor guy, but I don't make the rules. I just end your life if you're standing in my way. Rise to Ruin says, I see this map being winnable without producing and outproducing with a horde of towns. It would absolutely be a drawn-out slugfest, but totally worth it. I wonder if your ally will start attacking with their thousands of sprites when the enemy area is unlocked. Based off of everything I know about Heroes of Might and Magic 2, that's not going to happen. There's no scripts that currently run in Heroes of Might and Magic 2. It's just not a thing. But it, again, might be something that the FHeroes2 team puts together in the future. But yeah, no scripts. Heroes of Might and Magic 4, with their map editor, did it the very, very best. They did it to where you came upon a certain area or you accomplished some task and full mountain ranges could just disappear. That would be ideal. But that might be something that comes in the future. For now, I'm not too sure. Oh, folks, there was just a giant here, nothing special. I lied. Here, in the rocks of the giant's home, you find the fabled 7 League boots. Yeah, I forgot that that's what it was, but there was some artifact that we knew we had to come up to, and this seems like a very obvious sort of shrine. There's everything but a little X that says, stand right here, and you'll be fine. So, okay. Other than that, I think it's time... Oh, geez, there's tons of troops back home. If only we can get to them. Let's try and bring over these archers one more time. I'd love to get these archers upgraded into rangers. As soon as I can, I will do that, but it's still going to take some time. Oh, and then you outproducing and outgenerating, you said. Okay, gotcha, Rice. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Vammy says they're a cult. They get tax cuts. It's not fair, I tell you. It's not fair. I changed my mind. Rather than going to collect troops, we're going to try and get these troops to join us. Hordes? Hordes? I don't think hordes are going to want to join us. Not Tristan, not the level 2 knight. Expert diplomacy can only do so much for you. Yeah, I think we actually need more forces. And that just means that we're going to take the time to kind of go north, maybe? Through a legion? Probably not that. Let's go through this aqua barrier. And we're going to come back for this area down the road. It'll be an eventual kind of deal. Not soon at all. Okay. Rise to Ruin says it's the Church of Satan, more like it. You know what? Let's call this an unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion from FixFox incoming. You ready for this? This is an unpopular opinion. All religion is good religion. That's my unpopular opinion. Now, there are some huge and major caveats, but here's the general thought process behind that thought. Here's what it is. Even like the worst kind of church, and I'm not necessarily saying cult. I'm not saying like Charles Manson, right? But for a religion to really take off, there has to be some sort of true universal principles that we as humans can agree on. Truth is truth regardless of where it's coming from. And so, even, for example, you mentioned the Church of Satan, I believe that one of their core tenets is loving yourself. I think that that's a true principle. Even if you disagree with every other aspect of it, all religion still has something to offer. So maybe I should modify that. Maybe I shouldn't say all religion is good religion, but I will at least say that all religion has at least some degree of truth in it, and you can take that wherever you want to go with from there. I'm not trying to make this a big religious thing. I just threw that out there. Take it or leave it. Okay. Manny says, are you able to buy troops in the kingdom overview? Might be easier. Oh, actually, it would totally be easier. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's brilliant. I'm going to do that moving forward. I've been binging Fallout 76 lately since I got the month Game Pass core for free, Lord Shadowwing says. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I think that you've actually mentioned that you've got like thousands of hours in Fallout 76 or something like that, like something crazy. Yeah, so I'm glad you're enjoying that wonderful game of yours. For it. Rise to Ruin says to Chris, Underground would be such a game changer in Heroes of Might and Magic 2. I'd be interested to see which factions would be designated to the Underground, like Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Ooh, would it make sense that Necromancers are underground? Not necessarily. I mean, Dungeon Overlords for Heroes 3 makes so much sense, but not so necessarily for Necromancers. Yeah, maybe there's nobody that has to be underground. If you look at the background for like the Wizards, for example, they are definitely on the tile set for the Wasteland. Who would be underground? That would be a very interesting question. This forest is dark and strange, almost enchanted. Boars have been attacking you, and to the west, over the towering trees, is a rocky spire. Steam rises there, and a foul smell drifts over on the breeze. Huge birds soar above the spires. Some even fly this way out of the wood. That could be scary. Oh, and we're starting to get into big stacks of boars. We're officially starting to take some losses. This terrain feels okay to me, except that the cavalries are now in a weird spot. And they're going to get attacked by this stack of 40 boars in just a second. This stack of 40 is going to go next. And so I think I'm just going to stick this 5 Master Swordsmen right in front of them, just to make sure they don't have an easy route forward. Yeah, that's what we're going to do there. Let's see. Boars here. And boars here. Uh-oh. Now where do I attack? The big stack of 40? Possibly. 40 and 40. I think that this stack is going to go first. Oh, I don't want the cavalries to get hit. How well did I do in killing those boars? We killed 39. It's doing 640 damage. I mean, let's kill the stack of 2. Oh, they still got a hit off on me. Never mind. For all of my scheming, Fix Fox fails yet again. Although we didn't lose a cavalry, so I guess it wasn't too bad. Okay. And then from here, the battle should be won, and we actually take less losses this time than we did otherwise. So good all around. 3,000 experience, +1 defense skill, and we're turning into a sneaky good hero. Level 15, 9, 14, 4, and 1. We're getting pretty good. Leadership, wisdom, logistics, pathfinding, archery, luck, estates. Yeah, this is getting pretty good. Pretty good. And so we shall continue north. Wow, purple hangs out in the upper right. By the way, yeah, so I don't think, speaking about scripts, I don't think that Queen Ida is going to change. I don't think that she's going to come into effect. I don't think that Princess Anne is going to come into effect with their sprites, but I do think that Princess Eve is going to lay waste to a couple of enemies if only we can get to this purple barrier. We just have to get there. Sooner rather than later, we will see. Chris says to Rise to Ruin, it might even make it a superior game. I don't know why I say that, but Heroes Might and Magic 2 has a certain charm that Heroes Might and Magic 3 doesn't have. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. There's absolutely a certain charm. And more than that, I struggled to say. Look at this, oh my word. What to do? Lord Shadowing, thousands of hours in Fallout 4. Okay? Thousands. Thousands of hours. It's more than just a couple, it's thousands. Let's see, and then Vexen, Heroes Might Magic 2 feels more like fairy tales and magical to me. Heroes Might Magic 3 feels more like a classic fantasy world. I agree with that. And then Chris says, yep, you hit the nail on the head there. Could not agree more with you guys. I am going to use my mass haste. This is enough boars that I don't want to mess around. I do not want to mess around. I'm going to stick stack of Master Swordsman here. Veteran Pikeman up there. And I'm actually going to see if I can do like the swinging gate maneuver. I want my cavalries to go down and nestle right there in just a moment. So let's make some room. Let's kill this biggest stack here. We go down. Archers are safe. And then I'm going to have the Master Swordsman step right here. That's going to slow down this top group of boars down way down. What the heck? You're telling me that 145 boars only did 69 damage? Nice. But that's it? Oh my goodness. Well, Aaron the Knight with 14 defense. Who would have thought? He's doing so good. We might as well get this first hit off on these boars here. We're down to 64 there. And yeah, let's kill where we can. Do we? I think these Master Swordsmen, I'm just going to hang them out to dry. Down to 34, down to nothing. 145, down to 102. Yeah, this fight turned out way better than I thought it would. I don't know how the AI thought we were going to lose so many troops, but maybe just there was a little bit of tactical finagling here. Yeah, goodness. You see huge stacks of boars and you assume that it's going to go worse for you than it does. But especially if we're doing this range damage here, this one Master Swordsman is going to go down now, but everybody else is ready to pounce. We're even going to skip one more time. And they don't even kill one cavalry with their 53 boars. 4 pikemen, 5 of the Master Swordsmen, 2 of the swordsmen goes down. 6,500 experience plus 1 on the defense. That is okay to me. Oh my goodness, you're kidding me. We had a choice. Look at this, the illusion of choice. We could have gone left and fought just a couple of boars, or we could have gone right and struggled through these legions of rogues. We made the right decision because ultimately it ends us up in the same spot. That is lovely. I am for it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Rise says to Chris, I agree with that, which is partially why I wouldn't want Heroes of Might and Magic 3 mechanics to be implemented in Heroes of Might and Magic 2. They're both uniquely awesome in their own way. Combining them might take away instead of making better. I could not have said that any better myself. Rise to Ruin, 1000%. I agree with you wholeheartedly. There's something here. I'm going to go up the road. Looks like there's more rogues we could deal with. We're going to ignore that for now. And where this will take us, I don't know. But this has been a lucky sort of venture. These rogues could have obliterated us. They probably would have defeated us entirely. Now, knowing that we can go around them, I'm feeling much better about my chances moving forward. Rocks want to run. Do I want to pursue? I do not. I'm just going to let them go. And then the Alchemist Spire. Oh, okay. So this is going to get rid of 2 tax liens. We actually need Tristan to go up north as soon as he can. Let's do that now. It's going to take him several days, but let's lay the path bare. And then he can go up there on his own whenever he feels like it. I don't think the 3 archers is worth going through 760 extra experience. Now that we're up to this throng of rocks, previously it was just the rocks that showed up because it was weak of the rock. Now it's going to be a little bit tougher to handle. Let's do it like this. Let's go into close formation. Let's cover up the archers. And this is going to be a bit of a beating, but this is going to increase our gold generation by, well, only 500 gold. But it could lead to the Hideous Mask helping us here. Yeah, okay, we're going to assume that this is still worth it, but a throng of rocks is not nothing. Wait, how much is a throng? A horde is 50 to 100, a throng is 100 plus, a swarm is 250 plus, and then a legion and zounds beyond that. So this is 100 plus rocks. Vammy does say that Aaron is doing 70% damage reduction against most neutral units. Is this the right fight? I don't actually know. I don't actually know. What I do know is that if I split off this one cavalry, we might be able to defend the archers and keep the cavalries from taking too much damage. We should still win this. Look at me overthinking these things. Okay, no problems. No problems. Bryce Druin says, I wonder if you dismiss the Master Swordsman, the boards might join you? Question mark. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that could very well be a possibility. Huh. Because we have a big enough army, we just didn't have the space for them to join. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they would have, and maybe not, but interested to find out. There will not be a future time. The boars, unfortunately, have already expired. But that's the right kind of thinking. That's the kind of thinking that leads you to success. So I will keep that in my mind for the future. The rocks are peeling off of these cavalries. I still just want to keep the archers safe, even if it costs me some damage. Thankfully, it looks like everybody's going to get their chance to do their damage. Down to 25 of the cavalries. 9, 10, 3. Let's kill 10. Let's kill 9, especially with good luck. And then from here, that's the fight. Not too bad. 1 pikeman, 2 of the swordsmen, 4 of the cavalries. Not great, but we did pick up +1 spell power. Still looking for +1 knowledge. Still really need the +1 knowledge. And now we have the opportunity to clean up our heroes' inventories. Unfortunately, our Uncle Thad is too far away to get him over here, but that'll happen eventually, I'm sure. Ahead, up in the steamy crags of this volcanic outcrop, you see the rickety tower of an alchemist. You hope the oracle is right, and this man can remove the hideous mask and the curse. Me too. As you enter the alchemist tower, a hobbled, graying man in a brown cloak makes his way towards you. As he checks your pack, he sees that you have 2 cursed items for 750 gold. The alchemist will remove them for you. Do you want to pay? Yes, I do. After you consent to pay the requested amount of gold, the alchemist grabs all cursed artifacts and throws them into his magical cauldron, where he boils them down into some other amount of tax evasion that we are unfamiliar with. But I'm sure that his methods, though detestable to many who try and move money around, I'm sure it's all for the best. Okay. Manny, Elon has got ghosts. Eve has got many sprites. Yeah, this scenario is a little bit interesting in that regard. Yeah, Queen Ida with her nearly 45,000 sprites there. 5,000 sprites on Prince Anne. 10,000 phoenixes on Princess Eve. Not to mention the 40,000 phoenixes there. I don't think, though, that that's going to be enough to deal with the troops over in Blackgate. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Hope I'm wrong. We'll find out. Kind of like the map, The Road Home, that we defeated not too long ago. That was a very fun playthrough, but once we were able to get to our 500 phoenixes or whatever it was, the map was kind of over. And so I'm glad that this scenario has a little bit more intrigue, because from where I'm sitting, I have no idea how this scenario is going to finish up. I just don't know. It could go very well. It could go very poorly. Who knows? Chris says, yes, I think you got it right, Rise to Ruin. I didn't consider that. Bammy says, gems, boars, rocks, wizard castle? Question mark. That would be lovely if there was a hidden castle somewhere. Somewhere would be wonderful. And let's see, who recommended that I use... Let's see. It was Manny. Asked if we were able to buy troops in the Kingdom Overview. It might be easier. You've got it. I'm going to use that right now. So let's see. Towns and castles. Let's see. Nothing here, nothing there. Well, there's tons of stuff there, but we're going to wait on that. I might as well get the peasants. Do you think? 140 of them for 2,800 gold. We're going to do that if there's nothing left. But otherwise, let's just go through this piece by piece, bit by bit until we're finished. Three. Yeah, much easier. What a good suggestion. Okay. And I think that's it. I think that's all that I saw. And so now, because we're getting close to a new month, let's start working on these champions now. Let's go 33 out of 58. That's going to bring us down to 175 gold left. And the king's taxes hit us hard again. It's been a fun little back and forth of trying to avoid major losses. Would not recommend. Let's not do this ever again, shall we? And then let's see, Rise to Ruin. I didn't consider that. Interesting observation. Also, wizard terrain. Bammy, the 100 to 249 is the throng. Gotcha, for those rocks that we defeated. Lord Shadowwing says, I've got the MIDI Heroes of Might and Magic 2 grass theme as my ringtone. What a smart idea. I love that idea. And a true Heroes of Might and Magic friend is going to hear that out in the community, and then you might make a best friend as you start talking about Heroes of Might and Magic, which seems like a great time to me. The rogues want to scatter. Do I defeat them anyway? Sure. No losses, 320 experience, and let's see what we can find amongst these throngs. Little to no resistance. How about that? Mercury or cargo. I don't know if there's anything over there. I'm not going to take the time to walk. Bammy says, though, if I'm reading this map correctly, it might just be 100. And it was closer to 100 than it was 250. So that worked out just fine for us. A little bit more cargo here. One cavalry goes down. I'm going to accept that. Gems. And note that I'm not using gold as soon as I get it anymore, because we're not in the negative. We are getting 3,000 gold per day. So I'm not as worried about it as I once was. Let's go get this stupid mask off. And then just in case you missed this, so Twitter over here does still have the Legion of the Bone Dragons. That's going to be impossibly difficult to deal with, if we can ever deal with it at all. I don't know what the sign says. I have to get it. This is the Thieves' Wood. And a throng of rogues. I mean, we've proven that we're already tougher than a throng of rogues. There is a trading post here. We're going to go in that direction in one moment. I don't want to continue to lose troops if I don't have to. What if someone calls you while you're playing Heroes of Might and Magic 2? I think that when I get a new follower, I've got it so it's the same sound as New Week or the Gazebo, one of those. But I always have to stop and be like, wait a second, is that a new follower, or is that just something nifty that happened in the game that I wasn't expecting? So I deal with that all the time. If that's your cell phone going off, then you're going to wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night in a dream and just wonder if something's going on. Is it a new week? Nope, somebody's calling me. Okay. Picking up campfire, and we do see the Watchman. Oh, geez. Tougher than I want to deal with. Rice to Ruin says, Chris, I think the wait function from Heroes of Might and Magic 3 would be interesting implementation. Small tweak, massive change to the strategy. It would be a massive change to the strategy. I agree. As we do pick up the Ankh. Rise, it's an interesting idea. And I think it does come down to not wanting to combine the different versions of the game. Here's an opinion that maybe you'll agree with and maybe you will disagree with. I think that the Heroes of Might and Magic 2 team actually took balance very, very seriously. And I think that they actually did a much better job of it than people want to give them credit for. How do I mean? Seth from the YouTube series where he reviews games and says, hey people, Seth here. He has a great moment in the Heroes of Might and Magic 2 game review where he says there's the Warlock faction and then there's everybody else. If you're lucky enough to get the Warlocks, keep playing. If you're unlucky and you get somebody else, just stop playing and uninstall the game. And he's pointing to the lack of balance between the factions, sort of a deal. I really am one of those Heroes of Might and Magic 2 apologists that believe that the balance is actually very purposeful, and that was a very purposeful decision. I really truly do believe that that's what it was. And I understand the people that don't feel that way. And that doesn't hurt my feelings if we're going to disagree on that. But I think that introducing the wait function would change the game in a very significant way because of the way that speed works in Heroes 2 as compared to Heroes of Might and Magic 3. I just feel like that's the case. And I think it would be for the worse. I truly do. Interesting to play around with. I don't think it'd be the correct. Man, I don't know. I would love to play it. Here's a question for you. The Secession Wars mod that I'm going to get around to at some point. Does the Secession Wars mod use the wait function? That's a question I don't know the answer to, but I'm very interested to find out. So if you know the answer, please let me know. Because yeah, I just think that that's a very interesting idea. And how does it change the gameplay? If we've already got some data, I want to know what the data is. I want to know what that looks like. So let me know. If you know, let me know. Okay, folks, we were able to use the terrain here in a masterful way. Okay, that sounds like I'm speaking way too highly of myself. We were able to get fortunate in order to take advantage of this wonderful terrain. And we were able to get these rogues to go the long way around. That's going to give us 3 unencumbered shots from these archers. Yeah, it's going to be pretty okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I attack now? I'll kill 144. I'm going to take some hits anyway. I think I'd rather save the cavalries than the swordsmen. I don't think I lose all my swordsmen here on the retaliation. Yeah, I lose about half. And then now I actually feel comfortable using these 24 to finish off these rogues. Oh, they can't reach. Whoops, never mind. 7 swordsmen goes down. It's okay. We're gonna. Yeah, we're gonna. Yep, we're just gonna use our high defense. Take one more shot there. One more shot there. And we're gonna call it a day. 28 swordsmen goes down. 4,500 experience. Telescope, sure, why not? After we just picked up an observation tower. And then do we go to the north or do we go to the south? I don't think that there's any concern either way. Let's defeat these rocks and not the skeletons. Let's defeat the rocks because they're right here, then we're going to go north. How about that? Okay. On to the next thing. Chris says, do you mean the hero camping or in combat? Oh, I believe that the wait function for the in battle is, I think that's what he meant. In combat, Rice Truan says, so instead of only skipping the troops' turn, you can let them wait for later in the combat, rotation during the battle. Oh yes, I agree. Heroes 3, the Secession Wars mod does have that. Okay, great. So we got confirmation that there is that in the modification. So good information to have. And one of the reasons why I could see somebody loving the Secession Wars mod more than FHeroes2. I could see that being your own personal feeling on the matter. That addition could be what makes the game so much more intriguing or exciting for somebody else. It's just not Heroes of Might and Magic 2 as far as I know it, and that would cause me some grief. Okay. Chris says, I used to have the Game of Thrones theme tune, like the ringtone for Grass theme. Here's My Magic 2. Yeah, good call there. It would make combat a bit more frustrating because it lasts longer, but gives many more strategic possibilities. Plenty more, tons more. And I do like that. That's not a bad thing. More strategic value is not bad. It's really not. It's just not Heroes 2. You will need lots of paladins to defeat Elon Musk. Here's My Magic 2 factions have a purpose. Yep, Vexen, I agree with all that. I definitely agree with that. Alex, Let's Play fan, so you think, for example, that the Knight faction is not worse than the others and just for beginners, reacting to your thoughts about balance and Here's My Magic 2. It's not, they are in many ways way, way worse. The Knights faction in a long-term game is just worse. The stats don't back up their value in a way that if I'm playing against an enemy person competitively, the Knight faction has no chance in a lot of situations. But they do have their place on the battlefield. They do have their place in a scenario. They do have their advantages. That's part of the reason why when I do get the opportunity to play a Knight-based game, I feel like there's a lot of value there because it gives me the opportunity to go against the general consensus that the Knights are simply bad. I don't think that they're simply bad. They have a lot of disadvantages that make them very difficult to play with, and they will lose the longer the game goes on. But I do think that the Knights have some strategic early game advantages that can be significant and meaningful. And hopefully when you've seen me play Knight games, you've seen me play to their strengths, try and mitigate their weaknesses, and still come out on top. Just to prove that it can be done. I think that against the AI, it's much easier to stick to your win conditions with the Knight faction than if you were to play against a real person. I think that if I am playing against a real person, I think I would almost always choose either. Let me think about that. Who would I most likely play? I'd probably play either the Sorceresses or the Necromancers if I'm playing player versus player. And probably I'd give the Necromancers the nod. Wizards are great, but they're too expensive. Warlocks are great, but they take a lot of time to get going. Necromancers have a distinct advantage, especially if we were playing on impossible difficulty, because their faction 6-tier building only costs 5 of each resource. And that's much easier to get than, say, 20 crystal or 20 sulfur, etc., etc. But still, back to your point and your question, they're not worse than others. They are worse than others. Are they just for beginners? I think that they're more challenging than a beginner should have. I think if I was going to start off a beginner with any faction, I'd probably start them off with the Sorceresses. But with all this being said, I have to believe that you can win with anybody on any given scenario. I have to believe that. I truly do. Okay, let me read this and then we'll get caught back up on chat. One of your men brings you disturbing news. They have intercepted a pigeon message coming from the Thieves' Wood. It is addressed to someone called the Wolf King and speaks of the sealing of the Elven Wood. Could the Prince of Thieves have an ally to the south of the Marchlands? You send some scouts south to the Elven Wood. Could he have a wolf friend? More than just likely, more than just possible, it's likely. How about that? We're just going to keep losing archers. I don't think I can help it. But let me make sure I am... Okay, yeah, I'm back on spread formation. What we're going to find here, I don't know, but if there was an enemy that was going to travel up this road, we would have already seen them by now, right? I think so. This alchemist wants to get rid of 3 cursed items. We shall throw them away, and now Tristan the Knight is beautiful, handsome, silver-tongued, and his expert diplomacy is going to be a real nice thing for him. It's day 6. I think that we don't have tax day just yet. We'll get that in just a moment. And the Rogue Leader 1. Now this feels like a trap. He only has a few rogues, but who really knows what's in the town of Rusty Knife? This could absolutely be a problem. But the fact that it's only a few, I don't know what to believe here. Are we tough enough? Are we tough enough? I'm gonna have to believe that we're tough enough. Yikes. Oh, it's only 1,000 rogues. That's fine. We've done this before, but this time he's got attack skill and defense skill. So this is actually a much tougher fight than the previous one where we fought 1,000 rogues, because that 6 attack, 8 defense goes a long, long way. Oh, and it's actually about 1,500 rogues instead of just a couple less. Whoops, my bad. Okay, we're gonna fight this fight. Vexen, Knights are more defensive type faction. Agree with that. I think that the barbarians are the most simple for newbies. Yeah, actually that's a good point, because then you don't have to, you can't mess up your turn. With a flying creature, it's pretty straightforward about, hey, how far can I move? Can I attack you or not? It's kind of like a check yes, check no. Barbarians are very simple for newbies. I agree with that. Alex, Let's Play fan, I agree with you. I am just wondering if that makes the Knights less powerful and easier to play with, while Warlocks are more difficult to handle but stronger in the end. I don't know. Tough to say. Manny M, Wisdom. Wisdom. Rise to Ruin, agreed. Wait times would require a lot of rebalancing because of how Heroes of Might Magic 2 works. One example I can think of is flying troops not being able to fly across the battlefield in Heroes of Might Magic 3, whereas we can fly to any tile in Heroes of Might Magic 2. Speed could definitely be exploited to a game-breaking point. Yep, and I think I knew when I was saying what we were saying, I knew I could tell you my thoughts, and I wouldn't have to worry about like making you feel like I was coming at you some sort of way, because I think that ultimately we agree with what it could be. I think that we're both intrigued with, if you add the wait function, what happens. And so I think that we're on the same page. We feel the same about the wait function there, definitely. Vammy says wait function would make the Vampire Lords so broken, especially with haste as a starting spell on the Necromancers. I never considered that, but you are 1000% correct. Rise to Ruin says, I think that the Barbarians are the strongest in PvP if you can get ore early and snipe a lock castle. Agreed with that. Necromancers are the strongest faction in my opinion if you know how to farm skeletons, Vexen says. Necromancers are criminally underrated. There's a lot of difficulty in playing them early because they have 3 ground-based troops, and it's not until you get the vampires or the power liches that you have any sort of ranged damage, and that can really mess with your general tactical thought process. But if you're able to still overcome that, then you're in a good spot. So I agree with that 100%. Yes, I'm not actually sure how I feel about the wait button in Heroes 3 Secession Wars. I think it's needed there, as flyers don't reach shooters before they get to attack, but shooters have halved damage for the faraway shot. In practice, it's like creatures who reaches half the battlefield and get to attack on the second round, and it makes them very much the counter to any ranged creature. So like wolves, unicorns, and even crusaders have an advantage over shooters. I think that that's fair. And I think that that's the kind of discourse that I'm really looking for when I'm considering whether or not the wait function is good or not. So I agree with that, definitely. Rise to Ruin, Vexen TV, agreed. After Price of Loyalty, I believe, when they get spires in the castle before they're weak and without proper spell and spell power, artifact, troop combination, a crap ton of Vampire Lords is no joke. Yeah. And then Vexen agrees, vampires are pretty OP. And you know what, I gotta tell you, I'm glad that vampires are pretty much always OP, whether you're playing Heroes 2, 3, or 4 or beyond. I assume that they're OP in 4 and beyond. I don't know, maybe they are, maybe they're not. What to do with this fight? So we got a little bit of terrain here. That's not going to be enough. Let's move into this general area. I don't think we're going to get good morale. It's possible. 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't move to here. I got to move to here. I can because of this little bit of terrain there. I just have to hope that they don't get good morale. If they get good morale, I'm sunk. We're playing this very dangerously. I'm going to have the pikemen step up. Gonna have the Master Swordsman step. We're gonna have him step right here. And then I guess the cavalries are gonna go around the long way. All right, folks, we're gonna kill 74 to 111 rogues at a time. That's 96. 1,400 to go. Let's skip. Let's sprint away. And again, let's hope for no good morale. Oh no, good luck. That's okay, I can deal with that. And yeah, big stack of 1,500 at a time is going to go a long way. This swordsman is going to stay good. This group is going to have to go around the long way one more time. So we're actually going to back up with the pikemen 1 step. No, I want to keep this space of 1, 2 hexes open in case the cavalries need somewhere to retreat to. So let's skip one more time here. Skip here. Ranged damage, that's another 84 rogues that goes down. I think I can actually kill this group. I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to skip one more time. I didn't count the steps correctly. Oh, I did not count the steps correctly. Oh no, I did not count the steps correctly, and that's too much to deal with. Folks, what an error. I'm not saying that this fight was going to go much better, but That is an absolute... Oh, that's... Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, this battle is a loss. Yeah, it's all falling apart at this point. There's nothing I can do to make this go well at this point. I could literally run around the map, but what good would that do? And the answer is none. Even if I was hasted for 5 turns, run and shoot, run and shoot, run and shoot. I'm gonna do something I don't usually do. I am gonna use the reload. I'm gonna run now. I'm gonna use the reload because I want to try this fight again. I think I can actually do something nifty here. I think I still don't hate my chances, but I think I need to be much smarter about the way I approach this fight. So if you will give me the opportunity to see if I can do this better. Yeah, I just hate losing 24 cavalries in one shot because I miscounted my steps. Ugh. Okay. Let me get caught back up on chat. Let's see. And then so... Oh, geez. Where... Holy cow. You guys... Man, you guys type a lot. You guys are awesome. Goodness. Rice to Run says, I just enjoy the blah sound. Hands down my favorite unit. Can't go wrong with that. Vexen, I need to go. Have a nice stream and good luck with the camping or the campaign. See you next time. Pleasure seeing you here, Vexen. We'll catch you again on the next time. So take good care. Peace out. Lord Shadowwing, I just had a thought. If you really want to play the game that started it all, you need to play King's Bounty. I will consider it. It's on my list of things I should play at some point. We'll get to there when we can. And then, of course, Rise to Run saying, see you, Vexen. Happy holidays. Okay. I'm not going to make any other changes to this fight other than I just want to see if I can fight this fight better. And actually, the terrain looks like it's the exact same. I don't hate the way I did this the first time. I really don't. I had the right idea, I think. I just got to slow down this big group of 1,400 rogues. We're going to step up. We're going to step in. We're going to do damage. We're going to skip. We're going to run. Damage, but no retaliation. Damage, but no retaliation. Oh, wait. Did that happen last time? I think that happened differently. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be, they're going to get in here one way or the other. I can't stop it. I really needed them to go around the long way. I'm not sure what changed. I'm not sure what changed. 67 pikemen. I think that we don't attack the big stack. I think that we are going to clean up some of these smaller stacks. And we're just going to hop into here. Okay. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. You got to get the damage off from all your units, pikemen and so on and so forth. Yeah, this is just not a winnable fight. I thought it was. But even if I'm only killing 106 rogues, yeah, 106 rogues is just too few. And then we just have the 4 cavalries left. Tell you what, let's do the mass haste now. And then 5 speed, 4 speed. Oh, we're still too slow because we're archers, not rangers. Yeah, that's not good. Let's step right here. I think they can still get around. They can. Okay. All right. So this fight is just not winnable yet. We'll have to come back to that fight another time. But given that we're already 3 hours into this playthrough, and because I don't have any additional information about whether or not I can win this fight going into this, I'm just going to do the reload. I'm just going to ignore this fight for now. He's not going to come our way. Let's just continue on our way and pretend that that never happened, which is not the best way of dealing with your problems. Oh, really? Okay, does this change things? Does this change things? We're on the defense. The terrain is a little bit different. Does this change anything? I don't know if this changes anything. Probably not. That's just too many rogues to deal with. 1,400. Tell you what, maybe we can get our mass haste and we can just use this top stack of cavalries to take this retaliation in a second. And then we can get a full salvo of damage off. It won't be ideal, but it's the best chance we have. We do the mass haste, take this retaliation here, Then we get 24 cavalries that do tons of damage. Boom. We get 67 of the pikemen that do full damage. Boom. 112 or 1200 left. 25 rogues at a time. That hurts because there's nobody to get those guys off of them. 20 of the cavalries goes down. We got 3 left. We do damage here. We lose 3 cavalries there. We're down to a 1080. At least we're down into the 900 range. We're under 1,000. Yeah, but that's 2 turns that the archers have not gotten their time. And it's just gonna keep going. We can't protect them adequately. 37. Do you want to? Let's see. It's too much damage wasted. You can kill 42 to 56, but then you take the retaliation. 28 pikemen remain. 900 down to 8 something something. Either of these rogues are gonna climb all over these archers. Both of them. Okay. 6 speed versus 5 speed. What if we just skip? What if we just hold on? What if we do it like this? We're gonna be 6 speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not gonna be close enough. Going to the top corner, he can't reach us. Oh, we still can. Never mind. And then we got 1, 2 turns. Maybe we get some good morale. Yeah, no. Just go stab and die. Stab and die, friends. Stab and die. Okay. And we killed 700. Not bad. It's not enough. And once again, that's a loss. So that means, okay, so hold on. I'm so confused. Why is he sitting there and waiting? At this point, I just have to look at this. Like, I'll consider this scenario lost, but he's just sitting there waiting. Huh. Is there a better way to manage my troops? I didn't think that he would come and attack me. I thought that he was just a defender here, but I guess that he's more than that. What if I split my archers? No, I think you really want to have the 1 cavalry do his deal. Maybe, maybe not. Is there a way to beat this scenario? Have I lost? Have I lost? Folks, I think I might have just lost this scenario is all it comes down to. Pikeman, 25, 1 and 1. Sit and sit. Because at this point, he's always going to attack me. And I don't think I can actually win this fight. I think I backed myself into a corner that even if I use a reload, which we don't like to use anyway around here, I think that it's still just a loss. Because yeah, there's just not enough terrain. I can't make anything nifty happen. My 2-speed archers are too slow. We would have to get insanely good morale in order for anything nifty to happen. I don't know. Rice Ruin, one reason I prefer watching you over Absolute Zero, not putting him down, he's an incredible player, and I appreciate that because I'm not looking to put down anybody on this channel. If somebody said, hey, you're way better than whoever, I would immediately say, hey, thank you for the compliment, but don't put them down. So thank you for that disclaimer. Is because he only uses reloads, or is because you only use reloads as a last resort. Absolute abuses the reloads a bit as metagaming, and it feels like cheating a bit. Your reloads and the reasoning behind them are a-okay with me because it's like an extra layer of challenge. Good point, Rice Ruin. I appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. That whole comment I love very, very much. Thank you. But even here, the reload is not going to save us. I don't think there's anything we can do here. Full defensive position here. Maybe with this bottom tree? I don't think so. Let's go here. Let's go here. There's a 2-space gap here. I think I can win this fight. But not here. Not here. I think I've got the play. Here's the strategy. Here's the tactic. Okay. If I can pull this off, by the way, I'm going to be feeling pretty okay about myself. I just don't know if it's possible. Okay, so we're going to need, let's see, cavalries. Let's see here, 4-speed, 4-speed. This 1, 6-speed's got to be like here. This Master Swordsman's got to be at the very, very bottom. Okay. But I think that what I want to do is I want to tuck this champion or this cavalry right there. We're gonna need the mass haste so everybody can get into position. So here and there, up, over. I wish that had gone down on the Rangers or the Archers, either way. Okay, and there's too much surface area here. Rogues are gonna get down the battlefield. They're gonna probably kill pikemen. These single stacks of rogues are not gonna kill anybody though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Yeah, rogues in the very center are just a load to deal with because I just can't stop them. If I put the cavalry here and I put the swordsman right there, maybe it goes better for me. We're just staying in the way, trying to rely on these archers. So that just cost us 14. What that did is that cost us the 14 swordsmen, but now these rogues can't get all the way around. This one cavalry is probably going to kill, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's probably going to kill this rogue here. We're doing full damage to this big stack here. I don't think it hurts me. No, I think it does. I think it hurts me. I don't think I want to actually kill these rogues. Ideally, I've got 2 more rogues here, 1 here and 1 here. And then this big stack kills there, and then my archers blast the 1,400 rogues from afar, and I'm not going to kill these guys with retaliation. The single stacks are going to work against you because you're not going to be able to get through them, and they're just going to poke me for 1 damage apiece. So we skip. One and 2. I think that's these top 2. So these top 2 are going to go. This stack is going to kill here, and then these 2 rogues are going to go there. I think I did it. Let's skip. Let's skip. No problems. No problems. No problems. Folks, I'm not the best Heroes of Might and Magic 2 player you've ever saw in your damn life, but I'm pretty effing good. I'm pretty okay. I'm not here to say that I'm the best you ever saw, but damn it if I'm not pretty good. And from here, our 66 archers are safe. The rest of our troops are going to be hidden behind. There's no other spells we had. This was our one deal. We had to get this exact situation, but now we have got this in the bag. We just can't get impetuous and stab these single stacks of rogues. The single stacks have actually worked against our foe, and I am thrilled for it. Okay, alrighty. You know what? Dear Diary, today I went and streamed at the library. I got to see a lot of really great people. People were happy to see me. We had a fun time playing Heroes of Might and Magic. And then just when I thought that all hope was lost and the scenario was going to be completely overpowering to me, due to a mistake that I made, dear Diary, I found a way to carry on. This is stupid and this should not work. And if this was not against an AI, of course this wouldn't work. A normal player would find a way to, you know, not let this happen. But in this case, hey, when the AI has already got so many advantages, I might as well take my advantages where I can find them. And so we shall. Feels pretty good. Okay, let me check on chat real quick. Now that you are a Twitch associate, you have the ability to run polls and predictions during stream. Ooh, mods also have the ability to do it. Feel free to do that. If you have a poll that you want to do, if you ever want to be like, hey, do you think Pixfox can win this fight or not? I would love to see what everybody thinks. I'm all for it. Oh no. We used all 12 of our shots and we have no more shots left. Oh no. And just when Pixfox was being very cavalier with his excitement, now we see the funny side. Now we understand that there's a problem here. Houston, we do have a problem. Oh goodness. So yeah, Rise Truant saw the strategy as well. Let the one stack surround you for 10-ish turns. Yep. Heroes of Might and Magic 2, Vammy says, would have had them all in one stack and kicked your butt. Definitely, I agree with that. Manny MM says, very, very nice, Mr. Fox. Folks, 416 rogues though. I mean, 9 attack, 15 defense, 6 attack, 8 defense. I mean, I think this is winnable. It's just, how do I move forward from here? Rise says he thinks I should still be able to win. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, So I attack this stack, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I should attack this stack of rogues with my pikemen, and then I can kind of leak out. Archers is bait. I agree. I definitely agree. And so we're going to skip one more turn. We're taking our little bits of damage. We're going to attack this one right there, because it's going to be important that the cavalries get their full shot off, I think. I need the cavalries to do full damage to this big stack when they get the chance. So we're going to skip one more time. Oh no, I didn't see that coming. Okay, okay. That's bad. I didn't think that they would peel off. That's not good. Okay. We've actually got to do... I should have attacked. The cavalry should have attacked. Because now the 65 pikemen aren't going to get a shot in there. I messed this up. Messed it up. Okay, we're going to get full damage here. It's 38 to 75. Kill about 64. A little bit of damage left. Down to 53. Go, baby. Go, baby. Go. Dig, dig, dig. Oh no, the archers can't get their damage off. It's just coming down to me. 4 more, so in 2 more turns, we're going to get that stack demolished. 241 of the rogues. Skip. Skip. Archers are going to be able to go into melee range in just 1 second. Down to 41 of the pikemen. Do we got this? Good morale, 117. 47 left, 70 of the rogues remain. The cavalry goes down. The rogues are going to get good morale, which feels horrible. Oh, no, that's not good. Let's go. Let's go. 50 of the archers left. 68. We kill almost 1 full stack. And folks, if this guy runs, there's nothing I could have done. But I could be happy with the way that we at least survived. The name of the game here was not... the name of the game was just survive. And even though it cost us everything, we've got enough troops in the background. The enemy has fled, but we turned a loss into an expert victory. And I'm for it. And we're going to take the town of Rusty Knife here on day 1. And it's got... Look, 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 look. Do you see this? Look, for the first time in this scenario, we do have a thieves guild. And why is that a big deal? Now, every town I come up to from this point on, I'm going to actually have some information about whether or not I should attack that town or not. That was a big pickup. That was a huge deal. I am for it. Folks, that feels like a good moment. Okay, let me get caught back up on chat. Even after I got a little bit overexcited, and even after I got a little overexcited and thought that things were going to go better, they still turned out to be a win, and that's just fine. Okay, so archers is bait, absorb the retail, great job. What was that? What did that poll say there? Even though Fix Fox ran out of ammo, is he still going to win? Is that what that said? It turned out to be a win, but it was not my very favorite thing I've ever done. So let's actually run back. I don't want to go up the road just in case there's another enemy hero. I think that any enemy hero that has seen us, they're going to know that we are pretty weak. So we're going to skedoodle. We're going to leave Rusty Knife open. And if somebody wants to come get us, I am not going to stop them. Because we have to go, we got to go leave. We got to leave. I'm off chat. Catch you later. Thanks for the stream. Folks, we've been here for about 3 hours and 20 minutes, and I can feel myself kind of slowing down. Oh, the poll said we believed in you. Personally, I would have rage quit. I appreciate that, Rice. Thank you. Chris, thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great, wonderful night. See ya, sir. See ya. But I can feel myself slowing down. Yeah. I know that I know that my tactical advantage goes down after about 2.5 hours. And so now that we're at the 3.5-hour range, I think that there's a ton of this scenario left to play. And that's actually good. I think that there's enough scenario that I can actually pick this up with a new stream on another day. Usually I will finish the scenario off stream and then just upload part 2 with it. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I'm thinking that there's enough of this scenario left to be played that it can be played on stream. But regardless, I think it's time for me to call this a day. I need to go eat some food. I need to go and get some drink. I need to go calm my nerves after that very hectic battle. But that was an excellent note to end on. And I think that I gotta appreciate everybody here that spent the time. It helped me make this a wonderful stream. Lest we forget, there was a wonderful comment that is going to be a YouTube short. That's happening. You don't have any choice. You are now going to be on the internet for your comment. I hope that you're okay with that. Alex, Let's Play fan, thanks for the entertainment. Zarfall, looking forward to the next stream. Always fun to watch. I appreciate that very, very much. Bambi says, thanks for the stream. Thank you, everybody. You are what makes this stream great, and I'm grateful that we have a wonderful game that we can all enjoy on that. Folks, with that being said, remember that my plan is not to stream, at least for the next little bit. I've got a baby coming in about 4 or 5 days. And so when I get to see you next, I will let you know. Until that time, look after you, look after your friends, look after your family, and please look after you, because if you don't look after you, who will? So, H. Umbarak, I'm so sorry. Yep, so early with the stream today. Did I just miss it? Yep, we've been going for about 3.5 hours, and I'm officially spent. My poor little heart can't keep up. So we're gonna have to catch you on the next one. Feel free to watch this playthrough here on Twitch, and I will also upload this to YouTube as soon as I get a chance. But again, folks, until I see you again, take very good care, and I'll catch you in the next one. With that being said, FixFox, out.